Hello and welcome to Forsaken Podcast. Today it's just me. Kai is out actually. I believe he had to go to work today, so he ended up not being able to make it to the podcast tonight. So, anyways, it's just me. Truth lives, and today I'm joined by the infamous DarthPheonix. He's been a long coming guest of ours. You hear us talk about him a lot in our podcast if you haven't noticed it yet. But now you can hear his side of things. Darth has been a big member of the clan ever since joining and has always been available to help out when he can. And, I mean, anything, really, honestly. I mean, you've done all kinds of things with people, you know? It's been awesome. It's been awesome. But how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, and it's been actually a great experience being able to help out with this and everything.
It's been good, man. I mean, I'm enjoying the fact that you're willing to come on the podcast and share your story and, discuss the state of the game and your thoughts on it. I appreciate it.
There's a lot of thoughts, yeah.
That's okay, though. That's okay. But no, it's good. I'm glad you're doing pretty good. I know you listen to the podcast. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, this is episode 20, and I mean, I'm just kind of curious to know what your thoughts are.
I've only listened to a few so far, more of the recent ones.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry, it's like I do it at work, man. So I always spend most of the time listening to music, trying to drone out everybody around me.
I don't blame you.
But no, I mean it's pretty cool what you got going on. I mean there are a few tweaks that you can do here and there, but other than that, those are pretty minimal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But hey, it's cool though. Appreciate it. Any criticism and comments are welcome. That's what the really shameless plug here. Podcast discussion and feedback room in our Discord's for. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just gotta keep truth from rambling. That's all we gotta do.
But cool, man. I'm looking forward to hearing your story and talking with you about Destiny a bit, and some other games we've got news-wise. So, if you're ready, we'll get started.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're done for the interview. So, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
What to tell, huh?
I know. Hard question.
It's a very vague question. No, I'm doing good in life, I guess you could say. I'm not living in an apartment like most of my friends are, so got that going on. Work, I wouldn't say it pays the best, but it's got some of the best people I work with, so makes it bearable.
Right. Oh, that's cool. So when you're talking about work, what do you do for a living?
Work at a place called OpenEye. So we're based out in Washington, Liberty Lake.
Okay.
But it's a video surveillance company where we design surveillance systems, stuff like that, and then my job specifically is basically putting the stuff together, updating it, making sure everything goes out. But on top of that, I have an extra special one, which is I'm in charge of the whole entire product line. So that means everything I have to check, QC, fill out sheets for it, and then actually package everything myself instead of giving it to shipping, and then take the boxes down there and let them basically shove them out the door. So I have an extra couple of steps in between, including processing, stuff like that.
Wow, that's kind of cool, man. Trying to think of some more questions I could throw off out there. So how old are you? I'm just kind of curious.
27.
Oh, nice. That's not too bad. No, almost
Too
there.
Bad.
Almost there. Almost to 30. Almost to 30. You're almost over the hill. No, I'm still...
Please don't, man. Please don't. I'll need a reminder.
It's okay. I never told anybody's story, but I was going to give my mom for her birthday there's this really cool balloon, and it had a Grim Reaper on it holding a cupcake, and it says, "I'm just here for the cupcake."
Oh, jeez.
I'm serious.
Wait,
I was actually going to get that.
Which cupcake?
I don't know. But I just thought it was funny. I was like, wow, what a way to put it,
Yeah, at least you didn't say muffin.
Right. But no, that's cool, man. Cool. So how'd you get your start in gaming?
Well, I'll admit I do have ADHD stuff, so there's that. But growing up, you could say I was a little bit of trouble for my mom. So one Christmas, I want to say when I was 5, she got me a GameCom, which is basically it's a Palm Pilot, but it was in the shape of a Game Boy Advance before the Game Boy Advance was even released. I mean, this was black and white screen, had
Okay.
solitaire on it like that, but you got cartridges for like the original Sonic, Sonic and Tails, Sonic and Knuckles, stuff like that, Frogger. Like I'm talking like the old school versions.
Oh wow.
And then a couple years later, Game Boy Advance moved up. A few years later after that, I got PS2, started that, Jack and Daxter. That's what got me into that whole entire shooter kind of platform, I guess you could say. And then from there it was PC, which was old school Mac, go up to 360 for a graduation gift from college. Started working, Xbox One, and then now a legit gaming computer on top of that. And of
Nice.
course, jumping back into the even future, VR, which does make the difference in certain games.
Oh yeah. Definitely. We were just talking about it before we started the podcast. We were talking about what's it called? Damn it, I forgot the name now already.
So yeah, but I mean, say I give a simple question to it. Gotta start because of ADHD.
Hey, I mean it works, man. It works. But I can't remember what game we were talking about before because it relates to VR and how your discussion about it. What was it? Oh, Elite Dangerous. We were talking about it how it makes VR makes it 10 times better because it's just easier to control. It's all
Well, I
head
mean, that's what I'm
motion when it comes
assuming.
to certain things. I mean,
For
I did.
squadrons, yeah, squadrons for sure, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Once I touch VR, I played the 2D before a normal version. It's like it's unplayable now in normal mode without VR. VR makes a big difference in terms of space combat.
Well, yeah, because you can actually see every direction compared to the little narrow focus you got on a TV.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I get that completely. I mean, I know. At least when I was playing Elite Dangerous on PC, a lot of the head movement when you're trying to go to different consoles on the control, you'd actually have to look that direction. So you'd actually hold a certain button and whatnot to get your character to actually move that direction just to look at it. So I mean, it make it a lot easier just to be able to turn your head and then be accessing your space there. So no,
I would hope that once I do actually get it, that it actually has controller support, so I don't have to actually
oh, it
use
does
an
have
Xbox
controller. It
controller.
does. It does
But I
have
mean, I'm
controller.
not like hand control, like VR hand control, so I can just use my hands to actually do that stuff.
Right. Well, no,
I
they
mean,
do have they do have controller support. I don't know if it's for VR, but I know that they did have it when I was playing it years ago.
yeah, most VR games do have controller support.
So, but no, that's cool. Now, weird question off the gaming start. So you said you started with the Game Boy stuff, went
Yeah,
to
GameCom, went to the Game Boy.
yeah, PlayStation,
Yeah, the Play Store. Yeah,
yeah.
good
Then
old
you
Play
went,
Store.
yep, and then you went to the Xbox, and then PC.
Yeah.
Now, out of the consoles, of course, that you've played, which is better, PlayStation or Xbox? I just gotta know.
Well, that's a completely
No, I want to
loaded
know.
question
I
because
want to know.
we got to talk about we have to also talk about generations. I mean, generation wise,
Oh yeah,
PS2 over the old gens, period. But now
sure.
I'd say, in terms of modern, I'd say definitely Xbox because it's
Okay,
just more focused on the actual player instead of give me your money, give me your money, give me your money, give me your money.
not wrong. No, I was just kind of curious to know what your thoughts were. I mean, I'm just you were talking about how you had different consoles as you grew up. Had to
No,
throw
I
that in
still have
there.
my PS2. I'm never getting rid of that thing. It still runs.
I think I still have mine. I just gotta find it again.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it last week. You need to get Jack and Daxter, man. You need to play that series.
I know. I do know. I know. I'm
Well,
sad.
I mean, you're gonna miss out on one game though, which was a PSP exclusive, which was Daxter, which was a filler for. It's technically a prequel to Jack 2.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. You can't find PS Vitas and stuff like that anymore, or the PSPs.
No, I still got my PSP.
But that's cool, man. Cool. Um, Continuing on where we're going with this, what are your other what are some other gaming hobbies besides gaming?
I recently got back in Airsoft last year, and I've already spent a decent amount for a decent loadout. But I mean, spending a couple of nights out at abandoned mines, stuff like that, out in the woods. I mean, it's nice to get away from it all and just kind of rely on pure instincts in some instances.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it can be dangerous where you go. I mean, I've almost fallen in a ditch backwards, cut myself barely, stuff like that. having to climb over high walls, stuff like that. But I mean, it's nice getting out there and actually throw around smoke grenades and stuff like that.
Right. No, I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. You won't really realize how good your reflexes and stuff are until you're actually out there running those kind of sims, stuff like that.
Right. I doubt I'd be very good at it.
You'd be surprised. I mean, I had a couple years. Actually, I'd say last touched middle school, so over 12 years ago since last time I played. Like, for sure, over 12 years ago. Going back out there and immediately just headshot. It's like, okay, still got it. So,
Nice.
I mean, if you've had any kind of gun practice, it's really simple.
Oh yeah, I've had plenty of gun practice. I don't know if I've talked about this, but I've got plenty of gun practice.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
I think it was last week I did mention it. I can't remember exactly what I did last week. I'm bad.
Yeah,
I'm bad at that.
I mean, other than that one, we actually have a softball team whenever that gets back up again, once this whole COVID thing's over.
Yeah.
Be doing that again.
Nice. Well, on that topic anyways, how is, I guess, life in quarantine and COVID been for you?
Honestly, as a gamer, not that much different.
We're already shut-ins as it is.
This is my life. What are you talking about?
Ain't that the truth? My wife will say that every once in a while. You married that. You didn't marry me. Yeah, that's a bad line to hear.
Editor.
Yeah, right. Cut it out before she hears this. But no, yeah, it's been good. It's good though. It's good. Glad it hasn't been too terrible for you. I know if some people have hit some pretty bad struggles, and that sucks. And that's not fun.
I mean, every now and then you get the urge to go out and actually do something, but you're like, eh. But then there's airsoft, where you go out where nobody's in control because we don't play on actual field, so it's wherever the heck we feel like. So
Yeah, right.
Nobody can stop us, really.
That you know.
Plus, it's airsoft. You're always going to be at a distance anyway.
Exactly. You hope. Unless somebody's a jackass.
I mean, if you're close enough, then either somebody's getting lit up and they're going to be welting like ever, or they're dropping their gun.
Yep. No, it's cool though. I mean, airsoft has been pretty cool. I saw some of the guns you've posted. They're pretty cool looking. I got a question for you. Do you have a favorite, like one of your favorite loadouts or anything like that?
Oh fuck! I'd have to say, at this point, the one gun I never thought was going to be my favorite, my G36X, because it is a broken gun. Like, I'm not even kidding, it's broken. Since it's the G36 always has single fire, a burst mode, and then full auto. Full auto on it tries to basically fry the engine in the gun.
Oh damn!
And the gun's already been fixed twice technically, because they put new gears in, took it home, the gears immediately ripped themselves to shreds. That's how powerful that gun is. Had to go back in and get new gears, and they're mag locked now, so there's no way those things are moving.
Damn.
But full, so I can still use burst mode, but I use it sparingly. Semi-auto because it has a scope built in it, because it's a military style. So it has a scope with a non-functioning red dot, which I'm kind of pissed about. But with the BBs I usually use, well, I try and stay away from the 2.5, sort of 0.25, sorry. Shooting over 400 FPS, so I can hit somebody from across the field. That's how accurate that gun is.
Damn.
Trying to use any other weight, and it just sends it off everywhere. So other than that, I'll run that and a 1911 at my hip. Nice. And then sometimes I'll run a hand cannon, which is basically a grenade launcher that works like a shotgun that will shoot over 150 BBs in 2/3 of a second in a spray.
Damn, but that's expensive, isn't it?
Grenades themselves can be up to almost $100.
Whoo-hoo.
So I only have one grenade at this point.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I meant in like a sense of like your BBs being expensive to buy after you use that.
No, actually, over the years, yeah, I'd say it would be expensive like over a decade ago. But now everything's shifting over to biodegradable. So they're made not so much with plastic, but with more biodegradable materials. So buying around 1,500 BBs, $15.
That's not bad. It's actually pretty decent. Like a dollar a dollar every 10 BBs.
Yeah, I mean, especially with using a grenade. I mean, if you use a grenade constantly, you're going to be out in an instant.
every $1,000.
Aside from the green gas burns, because green gas does burn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's cool though. That sounds like fun, dude. If I lived anywhere near you, I'd probably go do that every once in a while with you. But again, I don't live near you enough.
Like I said, you should make a trip one of these times.
I could, yeah, we could. We should do that. We should do that. I had that actually happen to me a while ago. A buddy of mine came down from Salt Lake, and we met up in where I live in town, and went out in the middle of nowhere, and we just kind of hung out and shot airsofts with each other and running around doing shit. And then he gave me his 45 to shoot off a little bit. That was pretty fun too. It's fucking fun.
I will say though, if somebody tells you that you need to get Desert Eagle for airsoft, do not, because those guns, there's literally only one maker, and the parts are rare to find, and that gun constantly breaks.
I bet. I'm more of a, I like more. What would it be? I'm more like sleek and slim guns. The less I like.
No, that's why I like my 1911.
Yeah, like smaller guns are better in my opinion because it's just easier to carry.
I mean, technically now the preferred one would be a high kappa, which is basically what some people consider a 1920, but it's a 1911 frame. Just has a higher capacity.
Okay, that's cool. Nice.
But enough about airsoft.
Right. Any other hobbies besides airsofting or anything like that?
I mean, it's not really that much of a hobby anymore, but I used to started doing Gundam models, stuff like that, and then just building Yu-Gi-Oh decks because my last roommate got me hooked on it. But other than that, not much.
Okay.
Barely touch music anymore.
You used to make music. What kind of music?
I didn't make, I would play it. So grew up playing clarinet. So yeah, I was a band kid on and off. Learned a little bit of guitar. Self-learned drums by watching my dad play pretty much.
Okay, that's cool. My wife was in the band as well in high school. I used to go to I was homeschooled, mind you. I've mentioned that a few times on the podcast, but my wife and I were dating. We would I'd go to the football games and hang out with her. Her band teacher would let me sit with them. So,
That's unheard of.
I know, right? Yeah. So I was very special.
Special something.
Yeah, right. Mentally special, I think, probably.
No. That's my role. You can't take my role.
Oh, man. But that's cool, though. I mean, music's always a fun thing. I mean, I told my wife, I was like, if our daughter likes music, that's fine with me, as long as it's not, 3 in the fucking morning and we're getting waken up by drum sets or something like that. That'd be a little different. But no, if she wants to pursue a thing in music, cool, go for it. Just don't give up.
I mean, at this point, I'd have to. I actually took the clarinet out like a couple months ago and tried to play. It's like, I'm gonna have to pay over like around $150 to get refurbished because the pads on it are leaking. So it's unplayable very much.
Yeah, I can't remember what my wife played in band. Honestly, I think it was a clarinet, but I don't know.
Well, it depends though. Was it wood or plastic? Because I mean, one I got is wood, which are more expensive than plastic, but they're also harder to maintain.
I honestly don't know. It was a nice clarinet though, but she sold it. My wife was like, "I'm done." I mean, my
mom
music.
gave me hers. That's like,
she loved music. My wife just was like, "I'm gonna sell it because I don't need it anymore." I tried to tell her not to, but she's like, no.
It's not so much a need thing. It's like every now and then you're gonna get that urge to want to actually play it again. I mean, like,
and she has.
I have to say my favorite like music book that I have is probably the Lord of the Rings music.
That's good music. Whoever did that score was beautiful. Like that score for Lord of the Rings is beautiful, perfect.
I mean, it's complex without being too complex.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when you can pull off certain songs from it, it feels great.
It's got that gravity to it that like you feel the emotion behind the scene in that part of wherever it's at and that the music's taking place. You feel the emotion for it. It's beautiful.
Especially with Gollum's song at the end of the second movie.
Mm-hmm. When you can pull stuff off like that and where you can even just hear the music and you can understand the emotion that was behind the music, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm not even a music guy. I didn't take band. I don't even know how to read music, but
No,
that kind of stuff.
I've grown up around music. I mean, from playing music to doing soundboard for a youth group to end up doing slides, moving back to lights, stuff like that. I've pretty much been involved with music growing up
Okay,
to college, that is.
that's cool. But well, I don't want to be mean or anything, but we got to move on at some point, you know, before we
I'm
start
waiting for you
getting
to say that.
before we get more and more into to everything else. But no, so what genre of games do you prefer to play?
Oh, I have to say there's two answers to that. Shooters, obviously, with
Yeah,
the whole entire group, but fighters, which I'm kind of disappointed that there aren't that many fighter players in the clan.
I'm sorry, I've just never been very good at them.
Well, I'm not even just saying you, I'm just saying in general.
I'm a button smasher.
Well, I mean, there are certain games that actually works, which is bullshit.
Like I played Tekken 7, I played Tekken Tag Tournament, and yeah, no, all I did was button smash. I knew light and heavy, and that's all I pressed. It's kind of like
My
playing
favorite's
Smash
always
Bros.
been Soul Cal. Soul
Yeah.
Cal forever.
See it. I played Injustice 1, the beta. I enjoyed it, but it was boring. I'm not a fighter guy. I just never could get
Yeah.
behind them. I could never get behind fighters. They feel the same every single time. Like
Well,
Tekken feels
yeah.
nothing different than Mortal Kombat.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I like Soul Cal, because it's weapon based instead of fist, button, smash, button, smash. It's got actual combos instead of a copy and paste combo like every single other fighter has.
Yeah.
This is like you're using your full entire joystick. You're using the whole entire range of everything.
Okay.
Then you got stuff like Killer Instinct, which is classic arcade style, but with this more complex stuff thrown in. I mean, the combo system in Killer Instinct is just insane to get used to.
Okay. I've seen it. I've kind of played it, but it wasn't like some of those games that I had to play.
Well, I mean, come on, it was scored by Mick Gordon.
Yeah, but Doom's better.
But it was scored by Mick Gordon and Cell Dweller, though.
But let me say this: do I get to shoot things? No.
Actually, you can, depending on your character, because it has. I will say it has the Arbiter in it.
Yeah, I know it does. But the thing is, I don't get to blow shit up.
You can if you play Arbiter.
Okay. No.
You have your sticky grenades and your carbine.
No. No. Yeah, I get the fact that he did the Killer Instinct thing, but no. If I'm gonna play a game that's got Mick Gordon, it's gonna be Doom. Okay, that shit was good.
That's a fair point.
Doom is good. I'm sad that Doom Eternal wasn't as good music scoring wise. I feel like it wasn't. It didn't.
Well,
have
that's
the
because
same
there's a whole
effect as
controversy
Doom.
behind it on top of everything else
I know.
that was going on at the time.
I mean, Doom original soundtrack from the Doom 2016 one. Oh, that was fucking badass. I bought the soundtrack. I didn't even own the game at the time. I just bought the soundtrack because it's badass.
Well, I mean, if you have YouTube Premium Music, you can download that stuff for free. Once it's downloaded, it's depending on whether or not you lose it, you still have access to it.
I buy my music, dude.
I just pay my monthly subscription. I can download whatever the heck I want, and it's mine to keep forever without having to pay for it.
I mean, I do have Spotify Premium.
I'm not a big fan of Spotify, honestly.
But I buy my music if I like my music. I mean, now you can't on Google anymore. You have to use a separate app if you're gonna buy music from them, which annoys me.
Oh no, that's gone. It's swapped over to YouTube Premium.
I know, and it really irritates me because I'm like, I liked buying my music. I don't like paying. I don't want to pay for a stream. I use the streaming service as like a radio station. It's just adless. I don't like ads. Ads are boring. And they don't even pertain to music half the time. It's fucking annoying.
No, they don't. That's what I don't miss from the Google Music.
Or Pandora. Pandora was weird.
I have stopped using Pandora years ago.
That's why I moved to Spotify. But no, I used Spotify and Pandora and things like that to find music and bands that I enjoyed. and then I'd go and find an album, put it on YouTube, and listen to the full album before I buy a whole album. I don't buy just single songs; it's more expensive. Just buy an album. It's $10 for an album, whereas 99 cents per song. You're talking 12 songs on an album, which is cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's just how I did it. I can't do that no more because Google's gone. Google Music's gone. So I got to buy it through Amazon. I don't want to fucking buy it on Amazon. Fuck that. Fuck that. No, sorry. We just got on a music tangent out of nowhere.
I'm sorry, I grew up around music and we're going to go back to music.
I know. It's hilarious. But no, what other games genres do you play? I mean, obviously you said...
I'd say like the only other genre I play is probably space combat.
Okay. So Elite Dangerous and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we were talking about this before, but RTSs and...
No. Absolute answer is no.
Strategy games.
Well, it's not so much I hate strategy games. It's just, for me, I find them too simple, too easy, too quick.
Okay. I get it.
Or, usually, it takes fucking forever for your stuff to move around, even though it's like, you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. That's cool. So, with that being said, what genres you pick? What games do you mostly play?
Well, aside from Destiny, I'd probably say Soul Calibur 6. I started going back through Saints Row, actually. Need to finish Squadrons. And Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot when that gets updated, stuff like that.
Okay. That's not bad. How is that game, by the way? Isn't it basically a fighter game, too?
It is basically the whole entire Dragon Ball Z storyline mixed in with technically the Z movies that were canon, which is the first 2 arcs of Super. But you go through the whole entire arc, but there's added content from the writer himself which fills stuff, which actually explains more of why Gohan snapped and went Super Saiyan 2, pretty much. It gives more of that backstory and filler to explain what happened during this period that wasn't covered in the show, stuff like that.
Okay, that's cool. Just so you know, I've never seen Dragon Ball, so you're making no sense to me right now, but cool.
Smack you upside the head, boy.
I just never grew up watching that kind of stuff.
I didn't either. I actually started watching it like towards the end of high school, and was like, and then it was Kai, and then finally got around to watching the actual show in college. I'm like, Kai is complete and utter shit. Not our Kai, but
yeah.
Dragon Ball Z Kai.
No, he's talking about actual Kai. He's talking about Kai. Just remember, he's talking about King Kai. Okay.
Next time Kai is on the show, though, you have to make him. You have to force him to talk in the King Kai voice, since he calls himself King Kai.
I should. Have you? Okay. Listen to this. Say it very fast. Say the word King Kai real fast.
King Kai.
There you go. What did you hear?
King Kai.
No, I heard Kinky.
That just shows where your mind's at.
No. Leave me alone, okay? I'm just saying, if you say it wrong and you have it...
Someone's had a lonely week.
Whatever.
We're getting off on tangents.
I know we are. It's beautiful, though. That's cool, though. I mean, I never grew up on Dragon Ball. I tried watching it one time from the very first episode of Dragon Ball original, and
okay, at least you tried starting in the right spot. But I mean, honestly, I'd say
I tried it.
The first season is the hardest one to get through for Dragon Ball. Once you get through that and you get to like the tournaments and stuff, that's when it actually starts getting interesting, and then
it just
you get sucked in.
Weird. It was so weird. The first episode, it was like, wow.
You gotta remember though, the whole entire story is based, at least for Dragon Ball, is based off of Journey to the West.
I don't even know what that is.
Goku is Sun Wukong.
I don't even know what Journey
which
to
is
the West
basically a Chinese battle god.
No.
If you haven't, you need to read Journey to the West or at least watch one of the movies.
Okay.
It's not dubbed, obviously. It's going to be a sub movie because it's
Chinese, Japanese,
international. It's an international movie.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not big on that kind of stuff. I If I want to watch an anime, I'm going to watch an anime that I like.
I mean, I just remember no reason why I can make that connection so easily is because growing up in high school, we actually had to read Journey to the West, and I actually liked it.
Okay. Nice. That's cool. I mean, I was just kind of curious.
Yeah. Next question.
I mean, unless you have more to say, I mean, I can keep going. I don't have a problem with it.
I think we spent enough time on this.
All right. So what games? With that being, talking about games, anyways. But what games are you most willing to help with?
Well, I mean, aside from the obvious Destiny, which is part of the job, I guess.
No. What job? I'm not paying you.
That was
am I
close.
paying you?
That was quotation, sir. But
do I have money? Am I giving you money?
I'd say if anybody needs help with Dying Light, I could easily jump in with stuff like that, and then pretty much just hit me up and look at my library, and if you need help with anything that's in my library, just ask.
Yeah, he has 149 games installed on his Xbox.
147.
Okay, 147. 147 games installed on his Xbox. So, good luck finding what games you have in common with him, because he probably has more in his fucking library. Okay.
Well, just remember keeping count though. That doesn't include my Steam library.
No, fuck. How many games you got in your Steam library?
177.
Damn. I don't even know what my Steam library looks like. I can't even pull one up.
But most of those are like recopies of stuff. So it's like you have your base edition plus your special edition. So
okay.
It'd be more like around maybe 167.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. About the same you had on Xbox. It's not bad. That's cool. Cool, man. Awesome. Now, here are the important questions. Okay, you ready for these ones? What got you into Destiny?
Honestly, I remember playing the after it came out, like a couple months after it came out. Got my Xbox finally, and then because everybody was talking about Destiny, so I downloaded the demo, and then within a week had all 3 characters maxed at level 10. Finished everything I could in the demo, and just ended up actually after I started working, getting the base game, and then playing with Snake, who is now a part of the clan. So I ended up working with him for a bit, and we ended up both buying the Taken King and then spending pretty much all of our time playing that together, and then going through the raids, stuff like that. And then when the console Switch came out for the Rise of Iron, pre-ordered the Halo 5 console, and just immediately bought that and continued on.
Nice. I didn't get a chance to get into Rise of Iron until way later due to money.
Yeah.
And how old I was when the game came out. How old was I in 2014? That was 7 years ago. Shit, math is not my thing.
Was it really 7 years ago?
It was about 7 years ago, yeah. I mean, it came out in 2014, if I remember right.
Well, I mean, technically, we could continue that discussion to the next question.
Yeah, right. What would be your ideal Destiny?
Well, I meant the question of that, but ideal.
What question?
Ideal. Ideal. I'd have to say would be further discussed in the topic of the show.
Okay. All right.
So if you want, we can skip that one for now.
We can. Do you have any specific small little details you want to I mean, not dealing with our topic. I mean, do you want not dealing with the topic itself, but do you have anything you want to change that you think would be beneficial or something really
give
cool
hunters
you'd
back
want?
their freaking buffs? Damn it.
Okay. You just want a hunter master race, is what you're saying? I'm gay. No, I'm just.
You need the advantage for the games. Jeez, over freaking Titans and their bullshit.
What are you talking about? We do not have any advantages.
I have a homing melee ability that can take me over half the map.
No, it doesn't.
Counter this punch. Oh.
It does not home that hard.
Bullshit! I've seen maps in Crucible where the Titan just flies across half the map and punches one dude in the face. Heck, I've been on the receiving end.
No, I do not have that ability.
Well, you don't use that class, let's be fair.
True, I don't. I'm a Stasis Titan or a Solar Titan. Destiny 2 was released... Okay, so I had to look this up to be sure, but Destiny 2 was released September 6th, 2017. And then Destiny 1's initial release date was September 9th in 2014. So almost 7 years ago.
Hmm.
Damn, it's been a long time.
Because I think Rise of Iron was year 4.
No,
Yeah, it was year 4.
Year 3.
End of year 3.
No, Rise of Iron was year 3.
Huh.
You had year 1, which came with The Dark Below and the House of Wolves.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
And then year 2 was just The Taken King, and then year 3 was Rise of Iron.
Taken King is still the best expansion in the game's history so far.
I would agree. Beyond Light's getting there. I feel like Beyond Light was actually pretty decent.
It's getting there. It's fun because of the whole stasis thing. The stasis is what really saves it. Plus,
Yes.
bringing back the stranger. On
Yes.
top of that,
Yes.
but Taken King will always be the best in terms of story and content.
Yes, I mean, I do will say that the whole reset that they did in Taken King was really good. I would love to see Destiny use something like that again. I mean, they kind of did with Beyond Light and how they dropped it and how they like said, "Oh, basically all your guns are useless," just like when Taken King dropped. They're like, "Oh, your guns and stuff are useless." So, I mean, it is almost like that. I'm just gonna say, I feel like next, I hope. What was it? I read an article, or I saw an article. I can't remember who wrote it, but it stated that the Witch Queen, which is the next DLC that's announced. They don't know if that's the official name, but that's the name that they're going to call it for right now. Is a make it or break it moment for Bungie. Because Beyond Light was their first actual solo expansion since Activision cut off.
Well, I mean, in order to do that, I mean, if you're going to bring back somebody who's related to Ulrich himself, you're going to have to hit it big time because you're going to want something with that title to match at the Taken King. Because this is the opposite side of that coin at this point is what that expansion is going to be.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's going to be very difficult. I'm wondering how they're going to pull it off. I look forward to when they do. I mean, I'll probably still play it even after.
I'd like to see a redone Dreadnought, but I mean, the whole entire talk about moving into the States for once, that's pretty exciting.
That would be actually really cool. I'd love to see some new maps on Earth. I mean, Earth is a really cool concept. I mean, it's basically desolate. I mean, it'd be really cool to go some of these places. I mean, could you imagine an open world aspect to where you're running in?
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't link them because they're you've got Russia, you've got Europe, and then you've also got I think Europe.
Well, I mean, if you can just like that, you'd have like instead of having one large social space, you have a bunch of mini social spaces
in between them. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that you would launch from.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down with that because I'd love to be able to just run into certain places and be able to run into the next place. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Division 1 or 2 worked. I think it was 2. How you'd have the social spaces. You don't know it, but when you ran around in the city, you had the social spaces that you could run into and you'd find other players. But then you could run back out in the street and it would be you and your team. No other players out there. But they gave you little social hubs every so often. They're called safe houses that you could go to and do, store, shop, things like that. So.
Yeah, something like that would be.
I mean, I'd love to see a much bigger open world concept for Destiny. So, that'd be my ideal. But that's cool. We'll save the rest of that discussion for the show topic of the week.
Yeah.
But, all right. So, the final question. The final question. Why the game tag?
Oh boy, it's story time, kids. Truth, you know the backstory to this, but I would say 7 years ago at least, back when Warframe was still technically open beta, they had just released a clan update. Me, another guy, and you, which is when I first met you, started a clan called Dark Uprising, which is where the DU comes from.
Yeah.
For about a year, we were going. You ended up swapping over to, I believe it was Destiny at the time, correct?
I think it was more. What was it?
Or was it
Guild Wars 2? I think it was something like that. Guild Wars 2, or was Star Wars: The Old Republic online? That online game there.
I gave up on that one. But yeah, went on for a couple more years, and then after I got back from college, my laptop died on me, so I was AFK for about, or I guess you technically would say MIA, for about the next 2 years. Come back to that. You've been contacting me on and off throughout that time. come back into the clan, find that the people I had temporarily put in charge had basically swooped the whole entire group from me. Then the other guy that I would always have to talk with, who I trusted, was also MIA. A few months pass, I get demoted somehow. I have no longer any sway over it, and that's when you start contacting me again, and then I start playing Destiny 2 because I'm done with Warframe at that point, which I hate because that is still a great game to this day. Nothing against Warframe, it's just the group I was playing with.
Well, of course. I mean, when something like that happens, I mean, do you really want to go back to the game that happened with? You know.
Well, not right away, but I mean, I'm not going to stay away from it,
Well, of course
especially
not.
with some of the updates they've shown coming out. But I mean, come over you, join the group for a bit, check it out, and then make the decision. I'm going to leave my group since I no longer have any control over it. I can't see eye to eye with anybody except for maybe one person who I still keep in contact with somewhat. I swap over to you. So the DU tag for DU DarthPheonix, that is unchangeable in terms of Xbox's new limitations on the naming system.
Yeah, I remember that.
So the reason why it's still there is because it's a unique tag. I don't have to worry about somebody else having that tag. It's easy to identify me from that tag. It's a direct tag.
Yep.
DU, I guess I could change it to mean something else, but I guess it's just something that's going to stick forever, considering how long I was with it.
Right.
But it is nice to be playing back with you after those time for being the only person to keep in contact with me, actually, over Steam.
Oh, yeah.
And then the community that you've established is 100% what I was looking to establish with my own thing before, if you even remember that.
Yeah,
But
I do remember bits and pieces of it.
the whole entire thing, we had a store going, stuff like that, and then everything just fell through. Everybody ended up just disappearing, disconnecting, because this was during the time that Warframe was slowly updating instead of the rapid updates or the large updates that it does now.
Yeah, well, they've made more money now.
It died off for a lot of us, and I was one of those people that would only hop on every few months when there was a big update, stuff like that. But no, with what we got now going, I wouldn't say it's a family, but it's more, I mean, yes and no. It's more along the lines of a bunch of siblings that are constantly beating the shit out of each other.
Oh, we do. I mean, you've heard our podcast. You've heard us talk about you.
You beat the shit out of each other, and then after it's all done, say, "I'm sorry, I love you, fuck you," at the same time.
Exactly.
So it's established that community sense.
Oh, yeah, and it's been
yes,
great.
There are some places it could be improved, but other than that, it's exactly where something like this should be.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. No, I mean it's been fun. It's been a lot of work, and I'm glad you joined and are helping us out. I mean it's been great.
Oh, I'm glad to be a part of it. Getting back in the groove.
Right. But yeah, no, I mean I like the story of your gamer tag, dude. It's been so long. I forgot about a lot of my stuff on my PC days. Honestly, a lot of stuff. I mean, I used to be in a clan called Dark Sith back on Republic Commandos. That classic game. That was a fun game. I enjoyed that game. If they remade that one, I'd be okay with it.
But they never are. I mean, we're never even going to get the sequel for it because LucasArts doesn't exist. But they did just announce Lucasfilm Games, which is going to be over all other gaming companies, but they're not their own, so
yeah,
not going to be the same.
No, I'm sad they didn't make a sequel because there was a really big cliffhanger that they leave you off at the end and nobody fills it in. It fucking sucked.
Well, you technically do with the books, but you have to be willing to read, which most people nowadays aren't, sadly.
I mean, I read them. I just haven't had time. I mean, I do, but it says when you have a book in your hand and you have a TV on your phone, which do you take?
I would take a book, sorry.
See, I don't have the physical books. It's in my phone. So at that point, I might as well just watch TV.
I'm just saying. Plus, reading comic books on your phone is a pain in the ass, especially when you have their 2-page page and you're like, okay, you flip this page, start reading down the list, and you get to the next page, like, oh, I was supposed to read this horizontally instead of vertically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's
But
why
I
I
mean,
don't.
everybody does. Yeah, everybody now you hear about is they read manga on their phone, which makes sense because manga is vertical,
Yeah, it
never
is.
horizontal.
Never.
Well, I mean, except for maybe one page out of every 5 books.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually pretty easy to read. But no,
Well,
I
it's because
mean,
the Japanese base it more or less on storytelling
hmm
and more on the artwork itself, the pictures. So there's less dialogue.
yeah. No, I mean it's great. It's great. I mean, no, that's cool though. Your story. But I have lost a lot of memories from there. Don't know why. For some reason, I can't remember certain things from back in the past.
Banging your head against the wall, building the clan.
Probably, too many times. Too many times. But yeah, well, that's cool, man. Appreciate your story. Appreciate you sharing it with us. I mean, I know Kai couldn't join us. I know he would love to hear this stuff, but no,
Yeah, he'll
appreciate
still
it.
hear it.
Eventually, eventually. I don't think he listens to his own podcast. I'm just saying.
All I know is that when that jacket gets here, I'm gonna have to rip the DU part off.
Ouch. Oh, that's right. That's right. You put your gamer tag on it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Well,
I
it was
couldn't.
free, so
Well, true. Yeah. Oh, it was free for you. I got the T-shirt from the Solstice
no,
of
I meant
Heroes
no, just
thing.
just the gamer tag part. I thought
Oh,
they were gonna have an actual to have it the tag put on, but the tag was free.
the gamer tag. Okay, that's not bad. The gamer tag for my T-shirt that I got from the Solstice of Heroes one is an extra like $5 charge, which isn't terrible. I mean, it was a $15 shirt. I paid $20 for it. It's not bad. Take it
That's a
20
good
bucks.
price,
But it's 20
especially for a
bucks.
T-shirt.
Yeah, it's a decent T-shirt and it's got my gamer tag on. I'm like badass,
No,
badass.
no, if you want to talk decent T-shirts, Loot Crate, man,
Loot Crate does some pretty good stuff. It's just
their
I'm not
shirts are comfy and they hold up for the most part.
nice. I need to get into. I need to wait until Loot Crate does another Star Trek themed one.
Yeah, I stopped doing Loot Crate.
Well, I'd do only do it for like 1 month, get the Loot Crate for Star Trek, and be done.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that. But no, that's cool. Oh, I appreciate you sharing your story. So I guess we'll just kind of move on there from there to our movies and entertainment section. I guess spend some time with that. But cool. So do you have any movies or TV shows you've been watching as of late?
WandaVision.
How is that, by the way? I'm kind of curious. I mean, don't spoil anything, but I'm just kind of curious to know how it is.
I have to say I'm a fan of the way they do it, moving up through the decades in terms of the TV style, like the TV show style in the
Okay.
background, stuff like that. But I mean, it is a lead-in into the next Doctor Strange movie. That's already been given. The TV shows are part of the actual movie canon, so this is supposed to
Uh,
explain the whole background of the multiverse and how it's going to fit into the MCU. Right now,
okay.
they're only halfway through it. I'm assuming. I never saw the total episode run,
I'm a.
but it's
Go ahead.
definitely going to be a one-season show from the way it
Probably.
feels.
Probably. I was just wondering because I mean I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook when I scroll through the news feeds and stuff like that, and a lot of IGN and stuff like that. They're reviewing it and stuff. Which I think is funny because IGN's a gaming company and they review movies and TV show, whatever. Anyways, but they've been reviewing episodes and they've been saying it's really good, and I'm like, that's cool.
No, it is. It's good, but it's different, but it's good.
That's cool. Cool.
And especially once like the last episode, that's when stuff gets a little bit more trippy now.
Yeah, I heard this last episode was pretty decent and very, very confusing.
I will say, from what I heard from one of my buddies, I know about the House of M. This is technically what would be the lead into House of M, but I don't see them doing the House of M thing because that would require all of the X-Men stuff, but they still have yet to be brought over into the MCU.
Yeah.
So therefore, that is impossible. But
Well,
this is the lead-in into what would happen.
well, isn't technically now that they own Fox, don't they own the X-Men now finally?
No, that's what their announcement was like 2 years ago. Is the X-Men are finally home, which is why I'm assuming they did the New Mutants, which I still need to watch.
Which one is it?
The New Mutants. It's the only mutant I actually recognize from it is Magic, the son of Damien, which is the son of the Mephisto, pretty much.
Oh,
So the
okay.
devil.
Okay. No, I was just kind of curious. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of MCU stuff or Marvel stuff in a while. I mean, I think the last Marvel movie I watched was... I watched half of Endgame.
Only half? Well, yeah,
Well, I
it
came
is
in
a
for the
long
last
movie.
half. I came in for the last half of the movie.
Okay, well, I mean, as long as you saw the last half.
But I never saw the Infinity War. I never saw Captain America Civil War, Captain America 2. I never saw
You missed the
Ant-Man.
introduction of Spider-Man?
Dude, I missed a lot of stuff. I have all the DVDs for a lot of this stuff. I just haven't watched them yet and sat down and watched them.
No, after every single one comes out, I usually grab it.
I bought the collection after. I bought a bunch of them after a while, so my wife and I could
I
watch them
wish I did the
eventually.
collection, but I just grabbed each individually.
That's what I did. That's what I did. That's what I meant to say. I just have a collection of DVDs.
Yeah. I have
But,
like basically a whole entire shelf dedicated to them.
see, I'm not a big Marvel fan. I'm a DC fan, but DC makes better TV shows than they do movies. What? What?
I'm not a fan of DC. I mean, after the Dark Knight trilogy, great. Batman, anything with Batman has always been the best thing that they've done with movies.
Well, fuck yeah, dude. Batman's
Everything else
badass.
has just been okay. We got this movie. Okay, let's throw it so it looks like everything's taking place in midnight, so everything's dark. You can't see much of anything. It's like, I get it. DC is always meant to be the darker comics, but you don't need to make the movies darker where I can't see shit.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. They do make. I mean, let me say this right. This is how I put it. DC makes way better TV shows than they do make movies. Like the CW has great Flash, Arrow. You've got what else is there? There's more.
Titans now.
Yeah, the Titans now. Is that CW? I thought that was owned by DC itself.
No, that might be a different one.
I think DC.
I don't know. I know it's a TV show, but I've seen most of season 1 of Flash, and then I want to say the first 2 seasons of Arrow, which
dude,
Arrow was great.
Arrow's great. I mean, I don't know how the ending is, I mean, the show ending at least. I just know.
But then the Netflix Marvel series with Daredevil, holy shit.
That was dark
Daredevil.
too. Daredevil was pretty dark.
Well, Daredevil's always been dark, but I mean, that was great. And then the Punisher, when that finally came up, the Punisher was not exactly what I was expecting, but it was freaking good.
Nice. I haven't watched it yet.
The Defenders. Holy crap, the Defenders.
Was it good?
It was the combination one.
Oh, yeah.
With all of them.
What, Jessica Jones?
And it was also technically the introduction of Iron Fist.
Yeah. Which, okay.
Iron Fist, I will say, the show itself wasn't all that great, except for the episode where he had to fight a drunken Fist Master.
I mean, don't get me wrong. So, the only thing I don't like about Netflix when it comes to TV shows and stuff is they don't follow through. Like, they make a certain amount of episodes, and then they're done. Like, for shows, like, they make a certain amount of seasons, and then they're done.
Well, that's the thing, is that Disney now owns the rights to that, so they're actually planning on possibly rebooting in the future. There's already been a guarantee that Daredevil will be appearing at some point in the MCU.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Are they going to use the same actor, or is it going to be a brand new actor?
Yes, they're bringing in the same actor for Daredevil at least.
I'm like, that's the only thing I don't really care for is like the TV show Lost in Space. They only plan on making they have 2 seasons out so far. The 3rd season is being made, or is being released here soon, anyways. But they're done with it after that. The 3rd season's the final season. But that show, the original show Lost in Space, which was made back in, I don't know.
I've only seen like the 90s movie. That's about it for Lost in Space.
Man, Lost in Space was way later than that. Let me see if I can find that. But no, they made a ton of TV show episodes.
Yeah.
And they have this really great, like the way they did theirs, the Netflix version is really good. I mean, they really have the opportunity to make it even better because, I mean, the way they wrote it, the robot, which in the original show was actually part of the crew, in the new Netflix show, it's not.
They
it's
find
actually
him
an
or
alien.
something like that.
Yeah, it's an alien. And
see, that's when you say that, it's like I grew up knowing him as a robot that was part of the crew.
Yeah.
Saying that is like, well, I mean, I get the change because the robot, the way it looks, could be interpreted as that. But I mean, why change something that was already good?
I mean, it's not that they changed it. I mean, they did like the Dr. Smith that I grew up on, which was the older Dr. Smith, played by I can't remember his name right now. Jonathan Harris, great guy. I mean, that guy he was good at that character. I mean, that character was so good. He's played on quite a few things. Let me see if I can find some more of his stuff. Get Smart, Space Academy, Bonanza, a few other things like that. But I mean, he was really good on Lost in Space. And no, I mean, it was just great. I mean, the show that they were going with it could have been good. And then to find out that the third season that's it. And the way they leave it off in the second season is annoying because they could have, made more. You know that they could make more. Like, I can already tell that this story could go on for a while, but no, they want to make it ending. I'm like, wow, all right. I mean, there's shows that Netflix, they'll make it one season, and they're like, oh, we're done. Like Iron Fist only has one season as far as I know.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones only had one season.
I didn't bother watching that one or Luke Cage.
I know, I'm right, but I mean, I never even watched them either. But I know that they only made one season of that, one season of Punisher, one season of that. I mean, not saying because it's
No,
Disney
there was 2 seasons of Punisher.
Oh, was there?
But the one season for all the other characters, like the first season, was all the lead up to the Defenders, which was the crossover season.
Yeah, it's a cool concept what they did with that, but at the same time, I'm like, really? That's it? You're not going to focus more on the characters you just try to build? You just spent a whole time building these characters up in their own personal shows.
And that's kind of what I didn't like about season 3 of Daredevil, because they got rid of his suit, so we went back to using the blindfold. I'm like, why get rid of the suit?
Oh, they got rid of the suit? Oh, shit, dude, that sucks.
I think they brought the suit back in at the last episode, but other than that, it's like, because he was supposed to be dead, pretty much. Everybody thought he was dead.
Right. But no, I just thought it was weird. I'm like, it's weird. It just doesn't make any sense to me why they do that kind of stuff. I mean, they have really good stories. They're really good at writing TV shows. They're terrible at movies, in my opinion. But Netflix makes really good TV shows, or at least decent TV shows. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. I never understood it. Why they do that kind of crap. But less on me. How about you? Any other TV shows and movies?
Hello, welcome to the Truth Spills All About Himself.
Shut
up. Honestly, I haven't really been watching that much TV. I mean, I just ended up finally catching up on Red vs. Blue. That's about it. Otherwise,
okay, that's cool. Cool. I'm watching the same things I'm watching. I think I'm watching a drugged out show. It's called Regular Show. I don't know why either. I have no idea why I'm watching it. It's just for some reason after I get off work, I throw it on because it's something in the background that I can just watch and not give a shit. I have no idea why. It's just one of those weird shows. I can't find it. I'm weird. I like to watch shows that I can either pay attention to or not pay attention and not give a shit when I get off work, because then I can at least I can multitask. I can watch that. I can have my TV show going and play video games if I've got no one in a party or anything like that, or I can have all my attention on my watching my show if I want to. And Regular Show is just that, because it's 11 minutes of bullshit. Absolute bullshit. It makes no sense half the time. I mean, it's got some kind of weird sense, but I'm like, it's what I feel like whoever wrote this was drugged out of their fucking mind. Like, this dude had to be high off his ass to write half the stories he wrote, because they make zero sense. I don't know. I'm just weird. It's just weird. Don't ask why. I really have weird tastes in shows and movies and shit.
We know.
I know. But all right. Any video games you've been playing as of late?
Truth, you asked me that.
I did? Shit. I just asked you what games you mostly play.
Are you sure you're not the one drugged out?
Yes.
Mostly play still applies.
Okay,
mainly
fine,
Destiny
fine.
2.
Fine, we'll leave it at that then. Fuck it, we're done. Okay, we're done with this. We're done. All right, cool. Fuck. Damn it.
Okay.
But no, that's cool. All right. Well, I think that's it for this segment of the show. I think we're going to call it here, and then we're going to take a quick break and be right back with the show topic of the week. Unless you got anything else to add.
Nope, let's do it.
All right. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So, all right, right here, we're at the show topic of the week. So we're going to talk about some really interesting things. I was listening to another podcast, the Guardian Downcast is not the one I was listening to this week that had this
sounds
topic in
depressing.
there. I was going to say the Guardian Hub. KingslyMac and them, they were talking about the same discussion, but they only focused on raiding. I want to kind of focus more on both strikes and raids because they're both very underwhelming. They both have no rewards. But my question to Darth here is, how does Bungie make raids and strikes more rewarding and keep people coming back to them weekly or daily?
I'd say with raids, give out more stuff like Eyes of Tomorrow, like the powerful exotic stuff.
Well, you could do that. I was thinking more along the lines of, I mean, I'm not saying like a raid.
That was just for raids.
Right. I'm talking about this in the raid sense. Like, I'm just going to go on to your topic of raids real quick as we're talking about it. But my idea was to, you know how we had that vendor back with Leviathan?
Yeah.
I'm not saying we do that again. But, I mean, could you imagine if they had... How would you do this? How would I put this? So you have Last Wish, you have Garden of Salvation, and you have Deepstone Crypt. Deepstone Crypt being the newest, has all the newest perks in the perk pool, right?
Yeah.
Imagine at the end of Last Wish, just like at the end of Deepstone Crypt, you have that chest that you can buy stuff from, right? Imagine Imagine at the end of Last Wish, one of the either Callie or Shirochi turn themselves into a vendor, and you were able to talk to them and spend spoils of conquest and buy a roll of any of the Last Wish weapons, but with the newer perk pool from, you know, current season or something like that.
Well, I'd say that'd be great, but wait for them to implement back into updating those weapons to make them actually worth getting in the game.
Well,
without the cap.
They are worth getting right now. Right now, anyways. Right now, they're still worth it. But what I'm saying though is just in that sense. I mean, if they did that, that would also give us a reason to go do raiding more, because you want to get as many spoils as you can. I do feel that if
farming rolls.
Right. But I mean, if they allowed you to be able to get a new perk pool, and that would also, whenever you buy it from the vendor, that would unlock that perk pool for being able to drop from that random rolled weapon in the raid, from the encounter that it drops from. So, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Does that make any sense to you?
So like the raid exclusive perks.
Yeah. So you know how whenever you did like whenever we did Garden of Salvation the other day.
Yeah.
You know, you got the bow from the first encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you went and talked to the vendor and you bought a bow with a brand new perk pool. Now, whenever you do first encounter, you have an option. Your drop of that bow could be old perk pool or new perk pool, since you buy it from that vendor instead of having to do it all the time buying it. Now, I'm not saying it would be it'd be a lesser chance to get the newer perk pool, of course, but it wouldn't be so little of a chance that it would be a waste of time.
Well, that would require you to be able to finish Garden, first of all.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying, in the sense. I'm talking about any raid. I'm just talking about in general. I just was giving Garden of Salvation the one because I remember I know each encounter in Garden of Salvation has a specific perk loot pool. Like certain armor and weapons only drop from certain encounters. I don't know what Last Wish is, so I can't give you what drops from what. I believe it's anything can drop from anything in Last Wish. So that's why I was just mentioning that. So I mean, if that makes sense to you, I mean, I just think that'd be a better idea of how they could make it more rewarding and more wanting to go and do it for your weekly drop.
Well, yeah, it gives you a better chance too of getting what you actually want from it. So you have to spend as much time farming the raid over and over and over again once a week.
I mean, it'd be cool to have new perk pools, because Last Wish is using perk pools from when random rolls first came out, so there's not very many random roll weapons or very many perks you can use. Whereas now we've got like Wellspring, we got Surplus, we got all kinds of brand new perks that we could throw into Last Wish weapons. That would be pretty cool, I think.
It'd be nice to spread Reconstruction, honestly.
Well, I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. I'm sorry to say that. Unless they build a... I mean, as much as I'd love to see Reconstruction be on any gun, I do feel that it is definitely a raid-specific perk. Just like Reconstruction, Redirection, and Recombination. Those are 3 perks that only can drop on raid weapons, which are beautiful.
Well, that's what raid weapons need more of from other raids. Cause so far, I've only seen that in Deepstone Crypt. I mean, if we had Last Wish with some kind of like Awoken kind of mods that could drop.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. I do feel that would be really cool to have as well.
Or Garden with anti-Vex mods, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, just remake some of the guns to have newer perk pools, because they're using the same perk pools that they've had for a while. I mean, sure, the raids aren't like super like important. Like, I know Last Wish, why do you need to do Last Wish anymore? You don't. I mean, it really isn't necessary. Deepstone Crypt is where you want to go and do stuff, because it's pinnacle and it's just more rewarding.
Well, that's a beautiful raid all around.
Right. But I mean, Last Wish... Functional. The reason why you do Last Wish right now is because you've already done your weekly for Deepstone Crypt. So why not do something you've already know how to do? Last Wish, you know? Now, I'm not saying my idea is perfect, but I'm saying it would be a start. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that idea of adding new perk pools to the weapons and things?
I agree. I mean, that would also give us more chance to earn spoils too, which would be that little bit faster instead of the long farm that you have to do to begin with.
I do feel the spoil drops in Garden and Last Wish are a little too low. I think it's 3 every encounter, and I'm like, seriously? Seriously? Why would I do this?
Just make it a solid 10.
I mean, make it a solid, like, even 5 to, like, it could be up to 7. I'd say 7 is max for older raids. 10 feels like more recent raids.
Fair.
Like, could you, I mean...
Although, with Garden, it should be giving you 15 at a time for beating its buggy raid.
It is pretty buggy. It's horrible. It's absolute dog shit. But, no, I mean, I just thought that was an idea that we could use, because, I mean... I don't know how to explain it. It's just the raids, there is no reason to do a raid right now besides Deepstone Crypt for Pinnacles. That's it. That's the only reason why I do Deepstone Crypt anymore, is for the Pinnacles and my chance at getting Eyes of Tomorrow. But everything else, I have no reason to do it. 0 reason. So we need something to do. You need to give us a reason to do it. And a way to earn things.
Hidden bosses, stuff like that. Hidden bosses that have like a specific weapon that you can only get from them or something like that.
Exactly. Like, what was it? Okay, since we're on the weapon topic, and since we're talking about that anyways, hidden bosses. Do you remember the boss that was hidden in the Dreadnought on Destiny 1?
I think it was that's so long ago.
Hidden Vex Minotaur. Over there where the Cabal ship crashed. Further out. You had to go further in for the Cabal ship. It was like
Did it only spawn after killing like a certain number of waves?
I think so, and it just kind of came through and it spawned in. It was a big ass fucking Minotaur, I think. I can't remember
what was exactly. He supposed to drop?
I think he dropped an emblem, a specific hidden emblem you can only get from him.
I might have actually missed that. I don't know.
I spent
a lot of time in the Dreadnought, but I can't remember.
I can't remember that one either, honestly. I don't remember where he's at. I just remember him being killed by me. What I'm saying, though, is do you remember hidden bosses like that in open world? We don't see that very much anymore.
There's still technically those in Destiny 2, but they're usually quest locked.
Mm-hmm. They're not open world anymore. Or open... how would you put that? Because it's not really open world at that point.
Well, actually, no. Technically, there are an open world, but that's more for the penguins on Europa.
Yeah. mean, I do like the penguins. That was a really cool system, you know. Hide a penguin every week and he'd come out every week. And then you had to do certain things to get them. Like you had that one that was hidden underneath the ice. You had to blow up with the scorch cannon and stuff. That was pretty cool. It was a cool concept. So I don't know. I'm just trying to find ideas that we could make raids more viable. I mean, I don't know.
Add more puzzles to them.
I mean, what kind of puzzles are you talking about? Like, are you talking about jumping
Not
puzzles?
so much jumping puzzles. Not so much jumping puzzles. We have enough of those as it is.
Are you talking about like divinity puzzles?
Yes.
I did like those. Those were actually fun when we were going through and doing the divinity. That was actually pretty fun, doing the puzzles. I think the hardest one was that last one because it's just fucking complicated as hell.
Well, it's not
If
so
you're
much
not fast
complicated.
enough.
You need people that are like fast enough where you don't have to stare at it and go, okay, so where I need to be like after it's already done.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool concept. I like the idea of the divinity puzzles. I do feel that, how do I put this? The divinity puzzles shouldn't have been for an exotic weapon.
Or at the very least, once you've solved the final puzzle, since they're technically hidden puzzles, it should unlock it right off the bat.
Agreed. I do feel the divinity thing having to do the entire raid in one go, and the puzzles and complete the boss, is a bit hard for certain people that just cannot get the raid down. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know you can see this, but we spent 10 hours in Garden of Salvation. We started at noon on Sunday last week, and we did not get off until 10 o'clock.
11-ish.
I was there, it was about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10.
10 o'clock at night doing the puzzles.
And by that point, I was just so tired. At that point, I was so tired. I ended up staying like up an extra hour just looking at shaders before like, I need to go to bed.
Yep, agreed. I mean, we were in the boss fight for a good from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We were in there for a good 5 hours, just trying to figure out the boss and get it down.
Because your ass left.
I'm sorry.
For exceptional reasons.
I mean, I have family and I've got things I got to do. But no, I mean, it's just I don't know why, but our raid team just could not get it, and it just I don't know that raid just overly complicated.
Mechanic, it's
overly complicated.
I have to say that it's the builder part that really screws stuff up, because if the builder starts building on your side as you're coming back, you can't deposit correctly. You can't do this stuff. It's like you have to have that communication.
Well, see, the thing
builders build the opposite side of wherever you're jumping.
Yeah, well, don't hate me, but Ghost was doing it kind of wrong. Or no, it was RPG. It was RPG doing it the wrong way.
It was RPG.
I mean, no, I don't get me wrong.
Sorry, RPG.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, RPG. I mean, your method's great. Having one single team doing building, it's a good idea, but in theory, in practice, it's not, because then you're juggling both sides. And when the moat team comes back to deposit, the one side that you're working on is probably the same side that the moat team needs to deposit on.
Or the one side that they're trying to deposit on has already been wiped.
Exactly. So you're kind of you're literally being in the way more than anything, because then you can't deposit. It's just one of those things. It takes some practice, and KingslyMac tried to come in and help us out as much as possible, and I appreciate him for coming in and helping us out. But no, it just wasn't working for us, so we just kind of gave up. But no, I mean, I just feel that raid exotics should be a drop and not a quest, in my opinion. Or if they are a quest, make it to where they drop after you complete the said quest.
Yeah.
Like the puzzles. That's the perfect way to end it. The divinity puzzles. Then you're done. Now, I'm not saying... Okay, how do I put this? I get why they didn't drop it that way, because divinity is powerful, in a way.
When you're in a team.
Yeah, and I get why they didn't drop it just from completing the puzzles. It makes sense, but it sucks.
And honestly, I'm fine not having it. I mean, I got my eyes. I'm good.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously.
Gambit Slayer.
But no, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's I don't know. Raids for me have always been one of those things. Now that we've lost, how many raids did we lose? We lost 4 raids. Yeah, 4 raids in the matter of a month. About a year. We lost 4 months in a year, or 4 raids in a year. So we're down to only having these 3 raids. We need to make it to where they're, more viable. I mean, if you added, not saying pinnacles need to be in everything, but could you imagine if they added it to where they dropped with a higher stat roll on armor, especially?
I'd say if you're going to drop it at a higher stat roll, make it the final drop.
Well, of course. Or even drop masterwork armor at the final chest.
Final drop.
Well, of course. When you slay the boss or whatever, yes, that should be automatically what you get.
But I'd say if you're doing masterwork, you have to throw that into the exotic pool.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
But that also means if you do it that way, you have less of a chance of getting the actual exotic.
True, but I'm not saying I'm talking about old raids. I'm talking about old raids, not new
old raids. Then yeah,
I'm not talking about the new ones. The new ones, they're already dropping pinnacle stuff. That's pinnacle no matter what until the end of the year. Then it'll be removed and the new raid will take over and be pinnacle cap,
Well, if we're talking about old, then I'd say it's either you have a higher stat or you get a pinnacle.
Well,
not pinnacle. The
masterwork.
Masterwork.
I mean, either way,
you can't get both. It have to be one or the other.
But I mean, either way, they need to start dropping stuff that's actually more relevant. I mean, even if they just start dropping masterwork materials in them, would be great. That'd be nice. I'm not gonna lie. It'd be nice to do a raid and get some masterwork materials from the chest. I'd actually
go shards.
Shards too. I'd even go. I would literally go play Garden of Salvation all the way up until boss encounter to open all the chests, including the secret chest, just for a chance of getting masterwork materials. Now, should it drop extended shards and stuff? No, I do not feel that it should drop those. But at least give you a chance to get prisms and cores.
Well, I mean, shards you can throw into an exotic pool for final chest.
True, you could. But I mean, like I'm talking like the prisms and the cores, that would be great if they dropped those kind of things. I mean, cores obviously much higher than prisms, but I mean, just giving us some actual loot that help us out in some way would be great. Because, I mean, Garden of Salvation has a pulse rifle. It's cool looking. But, I mean, technically Crucible has a better pulse rifle, I believe. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't when it comes to raids. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Well, the raids or just raids and strikes?
Raids right now. We'll go to strikes next. I mean, what are your things? What things do you think that they could make more rewarding in raids, more ability to want to come back in and do them? What would bring you into a raid weekly and or daily? Well, weekly right now, because raids you don't really want to do daily, but weekly.
Raids have always been a weekly thing, to be fair, but I mean, I have to agree with you.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it was just a thought. I just had some really good ideas, in my opinion. I just thought I'd share and talk about it a little bit. Because, I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't raid a lot. I mean, I know how to do Last Wish, and I know how to do Deepstone Crypt. And I can run those raids whenever. And so it just was one of those things. It's like, you know what? Let's talk about it for a bit. Because they're very mishandled right now. I feel like they get thrown in, and they're relevant for a year, and then after a year they're not relevant, which makes sense. But at the same time, why are they still there then? Why would you leave a non-relevant activity in the game? You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to make it relevant. So, I mean, it's just my thoughts. I just feel like they should make
the whole
relevant
thing is based on the expansions, because it still has those 2 expansions in it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean,
so it's more based towards the players that are playing through that expansion.
True. I just feel that they should give us relevant gear of some sort in either a new perk pool for the weapons, new mods or new perks based on what weapon the raid comes from. I don't know, just weird. Because I mean, I could imagine having some anti-taken weapon perks on those weapons in Last Wish, because it's mostly a take and raid. And going and doing a bunch of really cool, fun things on Harbinger with it. I mean, it had to be really fun if they gave us some anti-taken perks. And then same with Garden of Salvation, anti-Vex perks. Taking that anywhere you had Vex at, which I don't think there's very many places that have Vex.
Well, that's
anymore.
what I just said. You're basically taking my words, dude.
No, I'm not taking your words. I'm talking about. I was literally just expanding on your idea.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I just think it'd be really fun to see that.
Yeah.
Will it happen? No. I know it won't. Sadly.
Nah, those two will be left behind.
Oh, I know. And then whenever the next raid comes out, Deepstone Crypt will be left behind too.
I don't see Deepstone Crypt really disappearing, honestly.
I mean, to a sense, like it's not going to be relevant enough to drop gear that's relevant. I mean, the perk pool will be great, but it's not going to be one of those things you have to do all the time. Because I think they're going to probably, whenever the new raid comes out, they're going to drop the spoils down. You're no longer going to get like 10 from each week. So, yeah. You know, the fun and joy of those. But I guess we'll move on to the next part of the topic. What are some things that Bungie could do to strikes to make them more rewarding and keep people coming back for them daily and or weekly?
Well, I'd say that one's pretty easy. Bring back the reward system from Destiny 1.
Are you talking about like strike specific loot and stuff like that?
Strike specific loot. I want my frickin' flare cloaks back.
Oh, dude, I remember those. The ones you got from slaying the three scions, the sisters. Wasn't it the sisters? Something like that? I can't remember what it was. But the three scions, I remember that. You could get one from each. Depending on which one you killed last in the, I think it was the Nightfall.
Well, no, it rotated. It was random for the flares. It was never Nightfall based because I ended up grabbing all three.
Oh, okay.
It was just random. You had to farm that thing. It'd be a random based element at the end.
That's cool.
And then stuff like hive gear, stuff like other stuff like that too.
I remember Savathun's the Omnigul strike used to have really good strike specific loot. I never got it, of course, and the Nightfall exclusive weapon or whatever it was, the Nightfall exclusive item, which was pretty cool. But I do agree they do need to bring strike specific loot back. I mean, they kind of do in this latest TWAB we're going to talk about, but at the same time, it's still not the same.
Well, I mean, right now it's basically okay. You get a chest with a bunch of blue stuff and maybe some purple, but it's all random stuff you can get from anywhere in the game, including open world, other stuff like that.
Exactly. It's literally pointless for me to do that. Like, why do I need to farm it? And especially with the way they worded it too, is it looks like it's going to be very strict on how you earn it. I'm like, really? Seriously? So, I don't know. I do agree with you. Strike specific loot would be great. I don't know. Anything else you want to add to strikes?
Huh. I mean, really, it was just a reward system that's really kind of makes it not worth my while, honestly.
Right. I mean, I miss the old Nightfalls. I miss the DAC and Destiny 2 Nightfalls used to have the when Destiny 2 first launched, they had the Nightfall exclusive item that dropped, like you had Flare, like the Sparrows, the Ghost Shells, things like that dropped. I mean, now that most of those strikes are gone, they removed all that. You can't earn those anymore. But I mean, could you imagine if they made a full set for each one of the strikes? A full set of armor for each one of the strikes?
I don't know. I mean, that's what kind of made Destiny 1 a little bit fun, was that you had strikes that were class-based also, too, for rewards.
Oh, yeah, they did have one. Didn't they only have one piece for each or whatever?
Yeah.
Usually they had one piece for each of the strikes.
No, because like I said, with the Flare Cloak, there was 3 pieces, but it's the same armor piece. It's just each one had different buffs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you had strikes that gave you Warlock gear or Titan gear, depending on what class you were playing. If you were playing it, you got a random roll.
Okay.
But having a strike give you a full set of armor is a bit... Then you're starting to basically approach into the raid kind of system.
True. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to think of some stuff we could do. I mean,
Well, I mean, again, system too. It was not quite an exotic drop tail, but that's what they were treated as. Is that they weren't guaranteed things from finishing the strike. Therefore, it made you play that strike more until you got that piece that you wanted, then you moved on to the next one.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember the old key system that they had? I can't remember what that was in. You used to be able to collect. You collected a certain amount of keys, and you could go to a specific chest inside of. I can't remember. It was a strike or something like that, maybe. I think it was a strike. I can't remember what it was. It's been a while since I've done it.
I don't remember anything with keys.
What's that?
I don't remember anything with keys.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't remember. I wasn't around for it. I just remember hearing about it. Anyways, imagine if what they did is what you could do is you could run strikes. And you earned a specific, like, not really a token, but a key after each strike. Or Nightfall. Nightfall would be a little bit more higher reward, of course. You'd get more keys than you would normally. But after you hit a certain number, inside a random strike, or the weekly strike, or the weekly Nightfall, or whatever, there's a hidden chest that only gives you a chance at getting a very specific weapon or gear piece, and that's, you have a chance. Like it'll drop regular purples, but it'll be a higher light level, be almost like a pinnacle.
Spin on the slot machine.
Sorry, what?
So take a spin on a slot machine.
Basically, I mean, just without it'd be all earnable. It wouldn't be money based, things like that. You wouldn't be able to buy keys. You earn it by playing. I mean, you could even use okay, so strikes could give you 5, Nightfalls could give you 10, and strike bounties could give you 1. And in order to be able to open the chest, you need
30?
100 keys. Because if you think about it, 1 Nightfall run gives you 10. 1 strike run gives you 5. 1 bounty gives you 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're trying to earn 100, you just run 10 Nightfalls, or you could run 20
a crap ton of strikes.
I mean, you gotta think about this. It's a whole week to do all this. So, I mean, or you could wait and save up your keys and do it next week and try and get that chest. But you get a chance at getting either a powerful reward, or you'll get a very exclusive weapon or armor piece, preferably a class item.
On the subject of class items, we need exotic class items back.
They didn't even do anything, though.
I know, but it's still kind of cool because it was a whole. It was a hard farm. Let's be fair.
True. But I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I understand where you're coming from with the exotic class item, but I feel if they're gonna make an exotic class item, it needs to be worth using. Like, it needs to have an extra mod slot or something. I mean, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, I'm just trying to spitball some ideas. I mean, could you imagine if they brought back, like, strike-specific loot, but in a way that's easily farmable, in a sense? To make you want to get that daily and weekly.
Well, yeah.
But, I mean, at the same time, it wouldn't be that high of a random chance either, like it was before.
Well, that's what would bring you back in and keep playing it, though.
True. But, I mean, it's still... If you think about it, there's random loot pools. So if it's a weapon that you're trying to grind for, you still have random perk pools. So it's a random roll weapon. You still have to grind for it, for your roll.
Considering that Destiny 2 relies on that system to improve the RPG, the RPG system that it is, it would make sense.
So, I mean, that'd be how I would do it. I feel like that'd be more easier. Or not, more easier is a bad way to say it. More accessible and easier to understand for new players compared to, just run this strike X amount of times and you'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. I just feel like the keys would be a lot easier for everybody to understand. So I don't know. There's that, and then there's also shit. I had that in my mind for a second, then I lost it. Like I just lost it. I had something I was gonna say, and I just can't remember what it was. I literally had like a thought that was going this certain direction. I just cannot remember where it was gonna go. Crap. What were we talking about? Strike specific loot, keys. Ah, man, I cannot remember what they're called. What was this going to be about? All right. Do you have anything you want to add to these?
I think I've said all I can say.
Okay. I can't think of anything. I mean, do you think of anything else that you'd want to see them improve and add to it? Not just raids and strikes, but in Destiny in general.
Sparrow horns.
I do agree they need to come back.
Destiny 1 skins and Destiny 1 armors. At the very least, skins. Because I want my freaking Dark Shaders to back.
Agreed. Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. There we go. All right, found it. I remember what I was going to say. When it comes to the RNG, the aspect of weapons and trying to find the perfect like pool, like perk pool and stuff like that, I do feel we do need a weapon revamp, like we do with armor. Not saying we do an energy system like armor does, but I'm saying we need a revamp to weapons.
Well, it depends. Are we talking old school weapons or the newer stuff?
I'm talking about like a revamp in general, like the whole weapon system. Like I'm talking like, how do you put it? How do I put this? So the entire, so when you open up a weapon, you press like Y on Xbox to open up the details tab. I'm talking about revamping that. And either going back to the Destiny 1 style where you had to upgrade the weapon, in a sense, that way.
You mean with planetary materials and all that shit?
No. Using it and such like that. I mean, I'm just trying to find, and like, we just need a. Go ahead.
Having a that was a similar class, like an S. So you have an SMG, and then you have another SMG that's in your secondary slot. You can still upgrade that either one with whatever weapon from whatever slot, even if it's a different position. So if it's like your primary or secondary.
No, you can't do that. No.
That's what I kind of miss.
I'm not talking about weapon class. I'm talking about just general weapons, like how the perk system works for the weapons. I feel like we need a new system that needs to be revamped and changed in how it works.
I don't know. I think the current one works just fine.
I mean, it does, but I just feel that when I get a weapon, the only thing I have to do is masterwork it. That's it. Then I'm done. I have no reason to ever do anything to that weapon ever again.
What do you mean, like maybe adding more skins, like not shaders, but actual like skins?
No, I'm not asking like that kind of stuff. I'm talking about more like attachments, mods, things like that.
So like silencer, scope changes, stuff like that.
Things like that.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty dope to see.
I mean, I'd like to be able to have the ability to change how my weapon works. Like in Call of Duty, you know, you've got your weapon attachments. I'm not saying you go to that extent as Call of Duty does it, but give us the ability.
Coding for that.
It would be in pain. It would be insane. But I mean, could you imagine if Destiny had the weapon system Call of Duty does, in the sense of like attachment systems and things like that? Could you imagine the entire gunplay you could get with that?
Well, I mean, that'd be diving real deep in the RPG system and doing it that way.
Well,
but
yeah.
I mean, geez, having silent snipers in Crucible matches, holy crap, that'd be a pain to deal with. Let's be fair, though.
Not really, because I mean, you technically see the sniper glint.
Well, okay, that's fair. But I mean, well, if you have a scope, that gets rid of glint, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in the sense of like, could you imagine if they added the ability to increase your magazine size by unlocking a larger magazine size for your auto rifle, but it also gives you a downside. Obviously, reload speed, obviously, for one, but, I mean, you pick up less ammo if you use this, but you get to carry an extra 15 to 20 rounds.
Well, you don't want to like take too much out of Call
Well,
of
no.
Duty.
But I'm just saying, in that sense. I mean, technically, Call of Duty doesn't do that either. They don't.
Not as much.
What I'm saying, though, is in the general sense of, like, I mean, imagine if you could do that. Imagine. If you could change the way your gun stock worked, or the way your reload worked. Imagine if you could change fire rates. Could you imagine if you could change scopes, barrels, attachments, adding like trying to think, wombo combo to your gun.
I mean, it'd be cool though, but we already know Destiny's not going to take the month that it would require just to go through every single gun in the game to do that.
Well, of course. But I'm just saying, in a general sense, could you imagine if Destiny had something like that? Or even, I mean, even with the current system, how many mods do we have for weapons?
Heck if I know.
We've only got one page and like 3 extra mods. Like, let me look real quick and see how many mods we have for our weapons real quick as I talk about this. But no, I mean, we could use more mods. We have new mods now because of the whole Adept mod system that they added with the Adept weapons.
Well, have Banshee sell more than one mod a week.
You could do
one
that.
thing.
But the problem is with that you just, again, you don't have a lot of room. We currently only have 16 mods for our weapons.
Huh, I figured we had way more than that.
That's not counting the Adept weapon mods, because they don't show up in here, I guess. Weird. But, I mean, could you... I mean, I don't know how to put it. I mean... Let me see if I can actually pull up the Adept weapons so I can see how many weapons are. What's currently... Auto rifles. See if I can find the Adept weapon of this. Because I know they've got an Adept weapon mod slot. I'm going to see if I can't find it right there. Yeah, so you have 8 Adept mods plus 16 regular non-Adept mods. That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. And only certain weapons can use the Adept mods. I mean, could you imagine if they added more mods to the weapons? I mean, I don't know how far you could take these. I mean, it's very difficult to go from boss spec, counterbalance stock, backup mag, freehand grip, Icarus grip,
Well, I mean,
major spec.
You could do something like give scout rifles a burst fire mod, something like that.
I mean, you could do stuff like that. You could give mods that give you that ability. I mean, imagine if they added a burst fire mod, but it only went on to certain weapons that are either full auto or semi-only.
Yeah.
So, example being, you could turn any auto rifle into a burst fire mode. You just couldn't do it on submachine guns because submachine guns wouldn't make any sense.
Check out my burst fire submachine gun, man.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. But I mean, I'd love to see something like that. Could you imagine making a SMG a single fire mode? Because I mean, that does kind of make sense. You could do that.
Ooh, but if you did that, you lose a lot of DPS.
Well, true. But that's again, I mean, it's one of those things like it allows people to play with guns and make them the way they want them.
Yeah, I could see them doing something like a fire mod, like changes the way your gun shoots.
Yeah, fire rate mod, and then you could do. I mean, I'd love to see energy type mods. That'd be kind of cool. Be able to change the energy type of a kinetic if you wanted to add an energy type.
What I miss is that you don't see scopes anymore on most weapons.
Again.
The ability to change them. Now it's just gone to barrel and then mag.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back scopes.
I do feel having scopes would be cool. I mean, imagine if they made these scopes and added a brand new mod slot for just scopes in general.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Bring back scopes.
I'm not talking about perks. I'm talking about actual mods, just in the mod slot.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Right next to the masterwork and stuff like that. It'd be down there with that. I mean,
Or
personally,
once you masterwork a weapon, it unlocks a slot for
that stuff.
either rate of fire mods or scope mods.
Agreed. I mean, even if they did that with the masterwork, that'd be cool. It'd be cool. I mean, will they do that? Probably not. But I mean, just open up customization to make gunplay more fun. Because right now, I have abilities that I really don't need a gun for. Like, if I'm in a certain situation, why would I use a gun? Why not just use a grenade? Or why not just use my super? Why do I need a gun? Does that make sense?
Mayhem.
Exactly. It's basic. We don't really, at any point in the game, have we ever really needed a gun.
Snipers.
Only time we ever needed a gun is when we have no ability chart, when our ability charges are up. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I mean, it would take forever just literally beating the shit out of all your enemies, though. Let's be fair.
True. But I'm just saying, in a sense, gunplay does not feel as good as using an ability. Like, and gunplay does not feel as it should.
This coming from the man who complained about someone overusing their abilities?
That's why I'm saying it. I'm just saying. I mean, does that make sense to you? I mean, I'm just trying to like talk about it. It was just a thought.
I don't know. I like my guns. I'm finally getting the hang of shotguns for once.
I just feel guns do not like. I mean, how do I put this? I feel like guns are at the very bottom of the game when it comes to like gunplay. Like gunplay does not feel like where it should be. Gunplay.
Well, if you're playing a Titan, then yeah, sure, you just have to punch something and it dies.
Well,
for the rest of us, we have to shoot and punch.
I knew you were gonna take it there. No, what I'm talking about in general is ability play is higher than gunplay. I feel like they almost need to be just almost as close to possible. As, like, I don't know, how would you measure this? I feel like ability play is like 2 inches above gunplay.
I don't know. I feel the opposite about that. Like, ability play has always felt more supportive than gunplay.
I don't know. I feel like the exact opposite. I just feel like gunplay should be... Like, I should feel the need to want to use my weapon more than my abilities. I don't know. That's just how I look at it. Like, I love the gunplay of this game. I love the gunplay of this game. This game has got some good gunplay. It's just, it's not to a point that makes me want to use it at all times. Because why would I need to? I have grenades. I have melee abilities. I have a super. I have a class ability that makes my life 10 times easier. Why? Why use a gun? I don't know. I'm just weird like that. I just have that weird thought process, I guess.
Yeah, it's called the Titan brain.
Sure. Anyways, do you have anything you want to add to the show topic of the week before we close it out?
Crossbows.
I would love to see new weapons. I agree with you. New weapon types would be great. We haven't seen a new weapon type since...
Swords?
No. Bows when they were introduced in Destiny 2 in Forsaken. We have not seen...
I thought they were introduced way earlier than that, huh?
Nope. Yeah, they're Forsaken. And then Destiny 2 when Destiny 2 dropped, they dropped linear fusion rifles and SMGs.
Yeah. They need to bring back linear fusion rifles. Those have been dying out, and I miss them.
Yes.
Those are really strong guns.
Agreed. I do feel... Okay, I do believe linear fusion rifles are having underuse right now. I feel like they could be better. I feel like they could make more with those.
Well, they need to buff them in Crucible for once, because I've already shot somebody in the head before with one, and it's just, shields down and then a tick of damage to the health. It's like, this is a heavy weapon. It needs to feel like a heavy weapon.
Exactly. I do agree with you there. I don't know. I'm looking at it in a sense, I guess, if they added more weapon types, it'd be great. Now, weapon frames would be even better.
I'm still waiting for my dual hand cannons.
That'd be cool. But no, do you know what I'm talking about, weapon frames? You know what that is?
Yeah.
So each weapon comes with a specific frame. or I guess they call them framed, but like a scout rifle like the Nameless Midnight, which is one I have opened up on my phone right now. But the precision frame, so this weapon's recoil pattern is more predictably vertical. So it's a precision, so it's more accurate than it is more. But it's not as heavy hitting. It's not as slow. It's not as slow fire rate, or it might be more slow fire rate, but it's not. I don't know. I guess it's just more accurate and it's better for you. So I mean, I don't know. Like, if they added more weapon frames, I think that'd be kind of nice. I could see some pretty cool ones. Like Wave Frame was really cool when they brought those out for grenade launchers. That was really cool.
Still my favorite grenade launcher type.
I agree. I feel like that's a really fun grenade launcher type. I just feel they should be more frames out there.
Yeah.
I feel like they could make way more frames out there. Like, imagine if they added a SIVA frame. Only a few guns get it.
You have to reintroduce SIVA in order to do that, though.
Yes and no. With the Cosmodrome being back, they could just technically have us go to a specific place and end up finding a weapon or two over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I mean, I was thinking that's what would happen, but I mean, Warmind. Could you imagine if they built a Warmind type frame? They call them Warmind frames.
But that's the thing, though, is at the same time, it wouldn't make sense in the current game as Rasputin hasn't been restored. I mean, if it was back in the Warmind expansions, then yeah, it would make total sense.
Well, Warmind expansion or Season of the Worthy, Unworthy. I mean, I really hate that season, but they added it during those seasons, like seasons related to the content. That would make more sense. Like with next, go ahead.
Seasonal frames.
Yes, with like next season being Cabal themed, could you imagine if they added like a Cabal style themed, like a Catalyst themed, like frame? I don't know what you'd call it. Don't know what it would do. But I mean, could you imagine it?
Well, as soon as I don't know what it would do, it's kind of hard.
It is kind of hard. I mean, I really don't know what it would do. But, I mean, I'm just thinking like outside the box. You know, I mean, seasonal themed frames would be pretty cool. But at the same time, if they allowed us to, like, I mean, we had that brand new grenade launcher, Salvation's Grip, the only stasis weapon out there.
And it is literally just a normal stasis grenade launcher.
Or a regular stasis grenade. You could just use your own fucking grenade.
That's what I meant. It's like you literally threw your own stasis grenade in a gun and it just shot it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I don't like it. But I mean, I'm just saying it's the only stasis weapon out there. They did state that stasis would be its own element. So where are the guns for it? Now I get it. They didn't put any this season. It makes sense. But I mean, I'm just saying in the sense of, I mean, you could have a stasis framed weapon. I mean, we've been studying. You could say we use it lore wise. If you want to keep it in lore. You could state that, the stasis frame is a brand new frame because we studied the Salvation's Grip that was built years ago, and we were able to make new weapons using the concept of stasis. I mean, I'm just saying. I guess that's how you could do it. I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to throw some weird things in there. I don't know. It was just a thought. I don't know. Do you have anything you want to add before I close this out and we go to the next topic?
Well, this whole season, like, revolving around like the enemy being the Vex for the majority of the part. What about some Radiolarian powered weapons?
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, Radiolarian has the ability to build things, and destroy things. So imagine having a...
Well, if you reverse that, it just end up being a corrosive weapon.
Right. I mean, in the sense that it could be a corrosive weapon. I mean, imagine if it was like when you shot the weapon, it left a Radiolarian residue on the enemy, which did some tick damage. But when they died, it left a pool of Radiolarian on the ground that could...
Well, at that point, you're talking about an exotic weapon, pretty much.
Yeah, it could be an exotic. But I mean, I'm just saying in a general sense... I mean, that's just a concept for an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be anything from leave a pool of Radiolarian on the ground to do damage, leave a radiolarian pool to be a trap. When someone steps on it, it makes them stuck, or puts a wall up in front of their face, or things like that. I mean, could you imagine stuff like that?
Or since it's radiolarian, like once it destroys an enemy, it goes back to being normal radiolarian. So if an ally steps in it, it slowly heals them.
Oh, you could do that. Yeah, you could do that. That makes some really good team play in PvE and PvP. Be kind of cool, actually. I could see that in trials. Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
That would be this shit in trials.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, it's just a cool concept. I don't know what you could do with it, but I don't know. That's just me. Anything else? Before we get into more tangents.
That's about it.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to take a quick break here in a second. I'm going to quickly tell you guys a little bit about our lore discussion, which is our next little segment we're going to do here in a bit. You're going to be listening to KingslyMac. He's going to read Chapter 2, The Call, from the book The Man They Call Cade. So feel free to have a listen. Please enjoy.
Now, to be clear, yeah, the plan is to tell it like it is, but don't expect every little detail to play out. I'm going to hit the important stuff, sure, but what I really hereafter is a sense of me, because once you understand me, you just might understand where I'm coming from, why I do the things I do, and why I've done the things I've done. So read between the lines if you have to, but end of the day, everything that matters should be readily apparent. If not, you're not paying attention. So here goes. Us exos are haunted. Sounds ominous, I know, and maybe a bit of a stretch. But really, it's the best word. Kind of sets the stage in a way the raw facts don't. See, Guardians have all got past lives, but unless you return with any definitive info on your person or in proximity, I'm looking at you, Bray, that past life or lives was or were wiped clean. Gone. Reborn in the light and all, you become what you become. Exos, though? We've got ghosts in our machines. Not the capital G, open doors and know things ghosts. I mean, like fragments of, I don't know, pieces of something that could be a memory. Whatever it is, it's enough to give us a starting point to maybe, possibly, imagine who we were before we became who we are. And then there's the dreams, but I ain't touching that with a 10-foot arc staff. Me? I'm one of the lucky few. The fudgy flashes of that old exo life weren't all I had to go on. See, the me that was in my life before my trusty capital G ghost found me kept journals like mementos, fragments of my prior life that gave me a baseline of who I was. The journals are personal, and I keep personal close to the chest. I've shared a few pages, sure, but only with right-minded types who could find a little value in seeing the man behind the myth. Yeah, myth, I said it. Who are we kidding? You've heard of me. Who hasn't? Point is, I don't make a show of my personal business. First, because it's my fuel to burn. Second, because Big Blue ain't a big fan of his guardians poking around what they used to be. Something about duty, rules, not losing sight of why we were chosen. But more than any of that, most of us chosen ones don't have the luxury of a past, so rubbing it in doesn't seem right. Look, all I know is, when I rejoined the land of the living, the pre-light version of me was kind enough to lend a guiding hand. I took that hand, gave it a high five, and followed his example the best I could. All this time later, I may not know what my true purpose is. I leave the big-ticket, existential questions to the warlocks, but I know this. My calling is to do good. Maybe not always to be good, but to do good. There's a difference. And if I don't always go about in a manner that fits the textbook definitions of hero or team player, I'm looking at you, Big Blue. Just know, I might dance to my own tune, but we're all at the same hoedown, or something like that.
All right, so we're back after listening to KingslyMac's beautiful, beautiful voice, and listening to how he I guess he. How would you put this? How do you word this? Man, words are not my thing. This is why I didn't read. Okay. This is why I opted not to read the first and second chapter. Okay. But I guess, beautiful portrayal of Cade's voice and just talking about, I guess, Cade's inner thoughts. I guess, since this is what basically this is. But no, it was a beautiful story. I mean, I thought it was really cool. I mean, what were your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, the whole Cade story now actually makes a lot more sense after reviewing the Deep Stone Crypt,
Of
the
course.
actual origins. Now it's like, oh, it feels like this should have been released during this expansion instead of 2 expansions ago.
Agreed.
I had no idea about any of this stuff. It's like, you read it, it's like, oh, you're assuming that I'm supposed to have an idea of the whole entire how X's are made, all this stuff. I mean, we had a general idea of how they were made before, but I mean, like, the whole entire, every single time, not pointing at Bray is like, okay, who is this guy? What's he have to do with this? I mean, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Especially with chapter.
Well, especially since he talks about how Exos are haunted. I mean, there was I can't remember exactly what lore piece it is and what lore book, but it does talk about how Exos they're since they're created from the dark, they've got a lot of really really like fucked up shit.
Well, is that they were forged by darkness technology using the Vex fluid itself.
Yes.
So, question is, can you really trust the Exos?
That is a question. I mean, this is interesting to know. I mean, it's just an interesting thought. I was really excited to talk about this one this week because, there's just so much that you could talk about. Because again, as you're saying, they should have been released this year, not 2 years ago with Forsaken.
But
It should have been
time,
released.
technically, Cade's memoirs.
Yes. So it makes sense it was released with them. But at the same time, I feel like with what you're saying is they should have been released now because now we understand more about how Exos are.
Or at the very least, kept any references to Bray out of it.
Yes. I mean, it's interesting to see that, and that they made references and stuff like that. It's almost like they were planning ahead of time to a point for Beyond Light and how Deepstone Crypt and all that kind of stuff, learning more about Bray and things like that. It almost feels like they were actually getting there with it. Like this is part of the plan.
But you also said, now you got to wonder now, was Cade 1 through 5 involved the whole Vex war?
Oh, you talking about the diaries from the Lament quest?
Wait, what?
What do you mean? Because you said Vex War, right?
Yes, the Lament. Because I don't believe he's actually mentioned in him.
No, I don't think he is. As far as I know, I do not believe he is.
It's the Diary of Banshee, pretty much, without being his own diary.
It kind of is. It's basically recovered memories from different perspectives of the same event.
Yes. But you gotta wonder, was Cade involved during that event? Because what happened to 1 through 5?
I mean, you're not wrong.
And we know for sure that there's not going to be a 7, sadly.
I'm pretty sure there isn't. I'm sorry, but I don't think there will be.
Specifically states, if I die at number 6, don't do 7 because 7 is a weird number for me, yada, yada, yada. I'm sure we'll cover that in the future.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the lore pieces probably do cover it. I don't know. I didn't read them. Okay. Mostly because I'm going to be more excited about this kind of stuff. But I mean, it's interesting to talk about. I've never once seen him use Arc. So it's interesting for him to talk about, Arc staff and using that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, he's specifically a golden gun, a solar
Blade
station.
Barrage. Yeah, solar. He's a solar hunter, which was really cool to hear that he actually talked about Arc staff and using it.
To be fair, though, he only used Blade Barrage once that we saw. Always golden gun.
He was always golden gun, yeah. The only time he used Blade Barrage was during Forsaken in that really cool, sad cutscene. So, yeah, no, it was, yeah. It's just, I don't know. it's interesting to see that. I mean, it is an interesting thought. I mean, was he there during the whole invasion of Europa with the Vex and everything like that? I mean, I'm kind of curious to know. I mean, I do not know if there's anything in game or in one of the lore books, the anthology books, that have that information there.
We also got to think based on that number alone, being ending at 6. That means that he was probably at the back line instead of at the front with Banshee and LT, because Banshee 44, he
Yes.
died 40, well, technically 44 times, yeah.
Did he die though? Did he die, or was he just, there was something mentally broken in him that he had to be?
No, remember the limit quest? Each number was basically their second iteration after the previous one, which only happened once that previous one died. So
Okay.
he respawning back there. I'm trying to
Okay.
think of what your show that also comes from, but I can't remember right now.
Yeah, I can't either. No, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I mean, it's a good thought. I mean, who knew? I
No,
mean,
now I remember now. It's from Spider-Verse. Not the movie, but
okay.
similar to that. In terms of
Okay.
responding constantly. So being as number 6, he's probably in the back lines. Didn't see that much action, just enough to die that many times.
Okay.
If it was,
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's a cool thought to think about how he could have been there when that happened. I mean, obviously he knew Bray. You can see that as he says that. He says, "Sea Guardians have all got past lives, but unless you returned with any definitive info on your person or in proximity, I'm looking at you, Bray. The past life or lives was or were wiped clean. Gone, reborn in the light, and all you become what you become." So I mean, it's a cool thing that he's talking about. He's talking about how when you become a guardian, you basically are reborn. You're a brand new person. You are not who you were before.
and we saw that with the Aldrin Sov becoming the Crow.
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm not now. Do I like it? No, I do not like that. But that's basically what that is. The
Let's be
Crows are
fair though, he's become tolerable compared to his old self.
true. He's not a emo bitch boy. That's basically what it was. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that about anybody else in the world that are
It's
in
more
that
of
same area, but he was kind of like that.
he had a sister thing.
Yeah, he had his weird. It was him and his sister had a weird relationship, a really weird relationship. Am I the only one that noticed the sexual tension between the two of them?
I'm not so sure it would be sexual tension as much as it is wanting to be noticed and actually like confirm that she knows that you're there. I mean, it's your sister, she's reigning over everything, but you're just kind of stuck being the errand boy, even though you're her brother.
True.
It's like, notice me. And most of the time when she does, it's condescendingly.
I mean, you're not wrong. It was just something I thought of. I was like, I just happened to notice it one day. I'm like, weird. That is a weird thing to see from them. But no, I mean, it just, I don't know. It just shows you. I mean, it makes you wonder who was Cade before the Exocade, because he obviously wasn't a. I don't. It doesn't necessarily state that he was a Guardian before or after he was an Exo.
Well, with the whole number thing again, he became a Guardian at Cade 6.
You think so?
Yes, because that means that he would have lost a ghost several times by now to lose that ability to necessarily be remade.
No, true. True. I don't know. Interesting though. It's an interesting concept. I mean, does it make you wonder who Cade was before he joined the program for becoming an EXO, or was kidnapped or whatever? I don't know. I mean, it makes me think of it. It makes me wonder that because
I
I
don't know.
mean,
With those whole being drawn to bars, I could see him potentially being a bartender.
could be. He could be a bartender. He could be a gunslinger. He could have been a warlord, for all we know.
Cade is a warlord. I can't see it.
The thing is, but the thing is though, you're knowing him as an EXO, and you're knowing him as a guardian who is a totally different person because again, it wipes you clean. So your brain, you don't remember anything from your past lives,
Yes.
but a few tidbits here and there. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just interesting thought. I mean, he does mention that he does talk about how of EXO's of his fudgy flashes of his old EXO life weren't all I had to go on. That's what he does state. He does say that see the me in quotations that was in my life before my trusty capital G ghost found me kept journals like mementos, fragments of my prior life that gave me a baseline of who I was. So I mean, I guess you could state that he wasn't technically he couldn't be a warlord. I mean, he could have been like one like Shaxx, which was not an evil one, but I mean, he wasn't a bad guy because he's obviously if he has mementos of his past life before his ghost and mementos and things like that, then he knows more about himself previously than most people do when it comes to Guardians.
But is Cade 6 more of a combination of all of his past iterations then?
True. I mean, you're not wrong. Because, I mean, Exos do have the past iteration thing. And I don't know, do memories transfer? Do you know if memories transfer from EXO to EXO?
From the Lament quest, they do, but after a certain amount of respawns, you start to lose memories.
Kinda like
This is what happened to
it's kinda like
Banshee, where he
Banshee, yeah.
couldn't, where he only had echoes, and until he actually held the actual sword, and he's like, "Oh shit, I remember now."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I mean, he could be, after he was reborn, he just remembers bits and pieces of all of his 5 previous versions of himself. But that doesn't necessarily say it's not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he does state that he has the journals are personal, and I kept personal close to the chest. I've shared a few pages, sure, but only with right-minded types who could find a little value in seeing the man behind the myth. Yeah.
Seem like being one of those people. Because he seemed to have a decent relationship with Ikora compared to Zavala.
Well, okay. Zavala's a bitch. And who wants to be friends with a bitch like that?
I wouldn't say so much a bitch, so much as a coward.
He is kind of cowardly. I mean, I understand.
Come on, he literally came down to Europa and had a robot escort with him. I mean, come on, really?
When did he go down to Europa?
It was during the fuck.
Was it like second
Beyond
or third
Light
mission?
campaign.
Yeah, it was like
Beyond
second
Light
or third campaign mission or something like that. He was in the Stranger's Hut.
Yeah.
Hut thing. Yeah, no, I remember now. I think it's funny though. I do think it's funny. I'm like, seriously. But no, he's just I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Cade's he's a good character. Great character. Destiny 1 character. Great character from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 and Destiny 3.
But that's what made him the obvious choice to kill off, sadly.
Yeah.
Is because
nobody
fans
would care.
had attachment to him.
Well, yeah. Nobody would care if Zavala died. Nobody would care. Nobody bat an eye. He'd be replaced in 15 minutes.
Ikora, you barely interacted with her as it was.
I mean, again, agreed. You barely interact with her at all. I mean, she serves zero purpose in the tower. She just sits there. There's no purpose to visit her. She's a vendor. You can access her, but there's nothing in her inventory. Never made sense to me why she's there then. As a vendor, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my thoughts. I mean, I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to find. I'm just kind of scrolling through the words that we have written here because I wrote it. I have all the things written down here for us to look at as we talk, so we can actually kind of call back to it without having to look it up, you know. But he does state, yeah, myth in quotations. I said it. Who are we kidding? You've heard of me. Who hasn't? Point is, I don't make a show of personal business. First, because my fuel to burn. Second, because Big Blue ain't a big fan of his guardians poking around what they used to be. Something about duty, rules, not losing sight of why we were chosen. But more than any of that, most of us chosen ones don't have the luxury of a past, so rubbing it in doesn't seem right. I mean, I kind of get that. I kind of get that. But at the same time, I mean, wouldn't understanding what you were before help you become better? I mean, wouldn't that do that for you?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I mean, going back to your past and your history, I mean, learning from history is the best way to do things. You know, those who said that? Abraham Lincoln? Was it Abraham Lincoln? I don't know. Somebody said this, but it says, oh crap, I can't remember the exact words that they said it in, but somebody really important said that those who don't read history are doomed to repeat it. So why wouldn't you want to learn about your past and things you could change to not go down the same path?
Well, with that, I mean, we go back to Older and Sov and the more recent dialogue, revealed dialogue between. No, not revealed. It was the last mini story that was updated to the Bungie site
Oh, the newest one?
with Osiris and Crow.
Where's that one at? Is that the newest one that just got posted?
Yeah, like this week.
Yesterday, I think it was, or today, or something.
Oh, it was a couple of days ago.
I didn't read it. That's one thing I don't like about these web lores is they're
That's the only time.
online.
That's like actually the first one I've read. But I mean, it's really like, okay, so it's basically talking about bringing Crow to the tower, and Osiris is like, you're gonna have to do it at some point, and at the same time, you can't hide from your past. You're gonna have to deal with it at one point or another.
Right.
And when that time comes, remember, I'm your friend.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm looking at it right now. Trying to see if I can find the exact words.
It's towards the end of it.
Crow's rumination was broken as they stepped from the trees into a clearing with a beat-up jump ship parked in the center. Osiris paused at the foot of the loading ramp and turned to face Crow. There will come a time when your identity, your past, can no longer stay hidden. Crow felt a tightness in his chest, and he imagined the whole city of all humanity staring at him. And when that time comes, the warlock continued, remember this moment. One exile to another. You can trust me. They clasped hands, and for a fleeting moment, Crow wondered if he might find acceptance after all. I mean, that's a cool concept. I mean, it is. And you're not wrong. It will come back to you. I mean, I'm expecting it to. I mean, I'm hoping. We know that the Crow will be in the tower next season. I'm hoping we do see some dialogue of some sort.
Well, we know he's with Zavala at some point.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I would love to see some dialogue or some kind of cutscene or some weird scene take place somewhere in some way. In-game, not web lore. I hate that.
Like the Vanguard dealing with him, like having to come to accept him.
Yes, agreed. Now, don't hate me. Nothing against web lore. I like the idea that they're writing lore pieces. I feel that this should be accessible through online, through in-game.
Yes, with this one, well, this is the only one I've read so far, but it feels necessary that it should be in-game because it's a tie-in into the next season.
Exactly. That's why I don't understand why it's not in-game. It makes no sense to me why they put it in over here in the back and not in-game. You know, it's a cool concept. I understand that they, it takes a while to write stuff like this to put in game. But even drop a special lore book that only has one chapter in it in game. When you log in, it gives you this chapter or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if there's multiple chapters, just make one book that has multiple chapters in it. You know?
Like a seasonal book.
Yeah, exactly. That drops seasonal lore pieces. Agreed. I agree. Okay. Sorry. That was not even on topic of lore what we're talking about, but it makes sense to have it in game because I'm not gonna take my time out of my day to go look up a web lore and read it.
I don't know. I end up just reading it during a break.
You could do that, or you could do it in game. It'd be easier if you're playing in game and you got nothing else better to do. I do feel like it's accessible in game. Or
you're one to talk truth.
Hey, I'm just saying. It might make me read more lore if it was in game. Okay.
I think at this point you probably have a lot to catch up on it as it is.
I do have a lot to catch up. That's why I'm loving this segment. It's kind of fun. I get to learn a lot of things. And I get to talk about things. It's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not very good at lore. Not really good. I don't know a lot of things, but it's cool to talk about it and learn some things. You know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you want to say?
I was gonna say, I'm still surprised that you never figured out that Kate had a son or the family before.
Hey, okay. I heard Ace before. I knew it was his gun. I knew he named it after something. I don't remember what it was. I know what it is now, obviously, but I'm just saying.
I think that Ace was more of a nickname for his son, honestly.
It was a nickname, obviously. His name was not Ace, but that's the only thing he can remember of his name of his son. Is Ace, so you know. But I thought this was a good chapter. I mean, I didn't have any problems with it. I thought it was really good. I think KingslyMac did it really well. Did it really well justice and everything like that. It was great to hear him read that for us. So, I don't know. Do you have anything you want to add looking at it? Trying to find some other things to point out a little bit before we move on?
No, I think I covered what I needed to say.
All right. Cool. Oh, right here. I did notice something. It said, when I rejoined the land of the living, the pre-light version of me was kind enough to lend a guiding hand. I took that hand, gave it a high five, and followed its example the best I could. So, he must have been something really nice. I mean, I'm guessing he must have been like some kind of, like a guardian without the power, the light, I guess, in a way.
Or maybe it was just a hero, because that's usually the role we see Kate in.
True. He was one of those guys that just jumped in and saved everybody's asses and walked away with, like, I'm done, you know.
Who wants a drink?
Yeah, right. I love that. I loved the Destiny 2 trailer when he's sitting there. I
still don't get the fact that Exo's eat and drink. It's like,
I know, it's funny, right?
How?
But I love that trailer, though, that they did for Destiny 2's launch, where he's...
No, that was great.
That when he's sitting at the bar, and you've got the whole Cabal war going on, and he's just sitting there drinking.
Just backs out, and it's just... it's half a bar, because everything else has been blown away.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful.
You got the robot in the back just sitting there like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's hilarious. It perfectly showed off what Cade was. So, I don't know. But I thought this was good. I'm looking forward to next week talking about that. I'm not exactly what's all in store for next week. I believe next week a member of our community will be reading this for us. So, be looking forward to that one. And
it'll be fun.
To that.
Depending on who you get.
I'm going to let you take a guess. Who do you think it's going to be?
I'd probably say TD.
Nah, it can't be TD.
Because he'd be too into it.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, actually, it is TD. TD is definitely going to be reading it. So you heard it here. TDO is definitely reading next week's lore reading. So, if you guys want to listen to that and check it out, be a good read. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for this segment of the show. Unless you got anything to add.
Nope.
All right. right, cool. I think we're gonna take a quick little break as we transition into the Destiny 2 news. So we'll be right back. All right, and we're back with the Destiny 2 news. So this week at Bungie, which was posted yesterday on Thursday, this week at Bungie, we revealed the Season of the Chosen. A new season upon us. Next week, Season of the Chosen goes live on February 9th. Empress, what is that? Keitel has arrived to fight against the Hive. She has proposed an alliance, but the cost is too high. And whether he wanted it or not, Zavala's faced the difficult choice. Check out the trailer to see that conversation went down. We have a whole page dedicated to the details about the new season. Give it a visit and learn more about the new private staging ground called The Helm, our new match-made Battlegrounds activity, and more. Now, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
It actually looks pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Bungie's starting to hit their pace going solo.
Yes, agreed. Now, I mean, I will say this right now, that I always believe that the first season of a DLC drop, like we saw with Shadowkeep and Season of the Undying, it was very content light because you also have a DLC drop. So I kind of figured that as much with the Hunt, Season of the Hunt. We got a little bit more content in the sense because it's got more replayable content now because it is staying till the end of the year.
Right.
But I am going to say this now that it was kind of content lacking. There wasn't much to do.
And what there was pretty grindy.
Yes, agreed. So I'm hoping for something a little more non-grindy like that. So, but no, that's cool. Did you have anything in particular that you enjoyed the most out of the trailer?
Oh boy. I'd say probably the bringing back of the old strikes, especially what was it?
Oh, I can't remember which one. I know you're talking
the servitor one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called right now. I think it's the Devil's Lair. I think. No, that one's the Shank. I'm trying to think of the other one. The one. The other
No,
one
it was a servitor.
I know there was the Shank one, and then there's also the servitor one. I can't remember what their names.
The Shank one. Oh, geez, that one was a pain in the butt when it first dropped originally.
Mm-hmm. And then they turned it into a Siva one. Made it even more fucking hard.
No, it wasn't the Undying Mind, was it? No, it wasn't.
No, I can't remember what it's called right now. I mean, it's the oh shit.
It's a super classic one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I can find it real quick. Previous TWAB, I think, is what it was from. Let's see if it doesn't show up. No, it doesn't say it in the thing. I was hoping it was going to say it in the actual TWAB, but it doesn't. It fucking sucks. But no, I'm looking forward to those coming back. Those are going to be nice. What'd you see that? What I mean, what was it? I mean, man, there was just so much about that trailer. It was just badass. When I saw that at work, I was like, fuck yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, the calendar looks pretty cool. I'm going to pull this up real quick.
Well, I mean, up to Guardian Games, that is.
Well, yeah, of course. Also, I hate you, TDO, for saying that it's going to come back. See if I can find it real quick.
Who's ready for a one-sided fight? Because I'm not.
Exactly. Where did I post this? Oh, I posted it in a different program.
Oh boy, Zavala's going to have another trophy next to him.
I know.
Shithead.
I know. I think it's stupid. But anyways, I'm trying to find out what the calendar says. I'm trying to get a bigger picture. The one on the TWAB is not very good. Really hard to fucking read. Let me get the picture for it. But, so what you have on February 9th to get ready for is you're going to get Behemoth and Hailstorm Battlegrounds. The Devil's Lair and Fallen Saber Strike opens, and the Helm comes online. Also on February 9th, Stasis Aspect quests begin. So there's going to be some new aspects.
Hell yeah!
I believe there's one new aspect for each. I don't know if they didn't give us a number, but I believe that's what's coming.
Well, I
February.
mean, as long as I get something else that's similar to like Shatter Dive or something like that.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping we get more new exotic armor. So I'm hoping that's coming back. Then February 12th, you got Trials Begins, earn new armor, weapons, and more, which we'll talk about here in a bit. February 16th, they're going to add the Cleansing Battlegrounds. It's another Battleground location, because I believe you're going to start with 2, and then you're going to get a 3rd on February 16th. And then February 23rd, you're going to get a 4th, which is the Oracle Battleground, and the first Iron Banner of the season. Then you have
another one.
March 23rd, you have Proving Ground Strikes opens up, which is a brand new strike. What?
Proving.
No, whatever. Proving Grounds strike opens up for season pass holders. So we get a total of, so what is it, the 23rd to
5.
the 30th. You get anyone who owns the season pass will get a full week of having access to the strike before it goes into the free to play playlist. Because on March 30th, the Proving Grounds strike enters playlist for all players, and they will add the Proving Grounds Nightfall. Okay. Then on April 13th, Iron Banner will go live again. Then April 20th through May 9th will be Guardian games. May 7th through the 9th will be the closing ceremony for the Guardian games. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Guardian games. I thought that was terrible last year. And I don't like the idea of it being back. But I do feel that the armor looks pretty dope. I do hope they make it to where you can shade this shit finally.
Oh, yeah, I don't walk around with like a glowing neon blue cape.
I mean, I don't mind that, but I mean, how was it? Last year's armor, the ornament set that you could buy, you could not shade it. You couldn't shade it. When you put shaders on it, the red, the yellow, and the blue colors on it always stayed permanent colored. You could not.
I don't think I actually got the ornaments.
I didn't get them. I didn't buy them.
It was a boring thing. I didn't even look at them, I don't think.
It was boring, but they were also, like, I looked at them wanting to do it, and then I talked to a bunch of people that bought it, and they're like, don't get it. It's not worth it because you can't shade the colors. I'm hoping they learned from that mistake and made it so you could shade those. But, that's just my thing. But the armor does look pretty sick. I like that they've got these, like, glows to them. Like, you can barely see the Titan mark, but you can see the Hunter's cape. It looks like almost like the Scion cloak that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the flare cloak.
And then you've got the Warlock's Bond. Looks pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to the armor set, at least. But up here at the top, they do state new PvE activity, new strikes, new weapons and armor, new exotics, new ornaments, new story content, Guardian games, Umbral engrams are returning, new artifact, new triumphs and seals, the Helm, Infamy and Valor boosts, Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, and seasonal challenges. So, that's pretty cool. So, for the Behemoth and Hailstorm Battlegrounds, you need the Season Pass. The Devil's Lair, Fallen Saber Strikes, those do, and the Helm is all free to play. Stasis Aspects, you do require Beyond Light. Trials, new armor, weapons, everything like that, that's available for all players. Cleansing Battleground would be Season Pass. Oracle Battleground, Season Pass. Iron Banner, of course, is free to play. And then the first week of Proving Ground Strike is Season Pass. And the rest of it's all free to play as far as we know. So, and it will last from February 9th to May 11th. So that's pretty cool. Pretty long ways away, actually, to be honest with you. So, no, that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. So, we got lots of stuff going on this season. All right. So, any thoughts on the calendar?
I just want to know what the battlegrounds are going to be. Is it going to be something like Escalation Protocol?
Well, they did say it's match made. They did state it's match made, so it wouldn't be like Escalation Protocol, like in the sense of it being just
open world
stuff. Like I hated that, in season. They call it Season of the Worthy, but in my opinion, it was unworthy. I didn't like that event. That whole garbage was crap. Honestly, it was crap. But I do hope that. Sorry, I had to yawn. I do hope the Battlegrounds is much better. I do hope it's kind of like the Sundial, but not to where.
Ooh, Sundial was fun.
Sundial was fun. I enjoyed Sundial because it went you went to the past, the present, the past. So you went past, present, and present. That's how the Sundial worked. Is you had two past locations and two present locations and one past location. Right? There was no future.
I thought there was one. I thought there was at least one future.
I can't remember anymore, but I remember it used to have you had the 3 dials in the Sundial, and I loved it. It was really cool concept, fun as well too, because it's just super easy to do. Each boss had a specific mechanic to it, and it was really fun. Or each section of the map, you had a certain mechanic to it. It was pretty fun. 6-man activity and everything like that. It was really easy to do. Like, I hated the last 2 seasons. I mean, Arrivals wasn't terrible. It was pretty easy, but it just wasn't fun being in open world. I like match-made content. It's more fun with this match-made content, in my opinion. But no, I'm hoping it's kind of like the Sundial in a sense. Like, it's got a pretty easy flow to it, easy to play with a 3-man squad of randoms, or a 2-man squad of randoms or whatever. So, and really easy for friends to really master it really well. So, we'll see how it works. I am curious to know how it works, too. I was kind of mad they didn't show any gameplay of it, like they did with Sundial. They kind of showed off what Sundial was at some point. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's only Friday. Might get some kind of like teaser on some Monday about it. We'll see, though. But anything else you want to add before we move on to the next area?
I'm good.
All right. Cool. So, Spoils of War. Season of the Chosen is delivering some shiny new things for you to collect. We've already spilled the beans that for the first time, some of your favorite weapons from Destiny 1 are showing up in Destiny 2 as rewards for completing Nightfall the Ordeal. Here are the lineup: the Swarm, the Palindrome, and the Shadow Price. They have a pretty decent picture. I mean, I'm looking forward to having the auto rifle back. The hand cannon's pretty cool, and the heavy machine gun's pretty cool. I haven't seen a heavy machine gun look like that in a while. That's a classic D1 looking machine gun. Same with the auto rifle and the hand cannon.
The auto rifle's definitely D1.
Mm-hmm. Like basic D1 before I think Rise of Iron.
That's old reliable D1 right there.
Yeah. Same with the hand cannon, man. That hand cannon was really like D1 style. Like D2 style does not have anything like that.
I say it's probably more end of era D1.
It was. I think that was from the Rise of Iron DLC, I believe, that hand cannon. I think the machine gun was from Taken King era, I think.
Looking at it, yeah, I want to say Taken King.
Because I remember machine guns were added in Taken King, weren't they?
Along with swords, yeah.
I think they were. No, I can't remember. It's been so long, man. No, I think machine guns are always around.
Yeah.
Because you have machine guns and rocket launchers. I think that's your only 2 options for heavy weapons.
Besides grenades.
No, they never had a grenade.
Wait, grenades were secondary.
Yeah, they never had grenade launchers for heavies. Grenade launchers were brand new in Destiny 2.
Huh.
Oh, man, it's gonna bother me now. I gotta look this up. Heavy weapons in Destiny 1, because I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been so long since I've looked at Destiny 1. I don't really care what weapons you have. I just want to know what type of weapons you would get. Yeah, rocket launchers and swords whenever Taken King came around, and machine guns. That's it. So yeah, it's definitely... Yeah, it's got to be D1 era, like either Taken King or original D1. But yeah, that's cool. I'm looking forward to those coming back. I really want that auto rifle.
I'm not a big fan of the skins, but okay.
No, I mean, I don't like the fact that they brought them back as is, in the sense of like, I hate
Being Vanguard weapons.
See, I never understood why the Vanguard weapons had to have the stupid Vanguard logo stamped on the damn things, because you can't hide it. Same with like Crucible. I don't know if Crucible ever had anything like that on any of their weapons.
Yeah, it did earlier on.
Yeah, most of the newer ones didn't. Got rid of that. That's why I don't understand why the Vanguard didn't do that too, because it just makes it so hard to shade and hide shit. I don't know. We'll see. But anything you add on those real quick?
Mm-mm.
No. All right. Cool. But they did state, so continuing on after the weapons, it says Nightfall, the ordeal weapons have a chance to drop at the end of activity depending on your metal, which is platinum, gold, etc., and difficulty. So master difficulty will be the highest chance to drop of the base version of these weapons. Adept difficulty weapons have a chance to drop at the end of Grandmaster Nightfalls when they go live later in the season. Drop chance also dependent on your metal. Slay enough champions to hit platinum, and you will have a high chance at an adept weapon. So you can get an adept version of these that will, I don't know what they do exactly, but they'll let you have an adept weapon slot, mod slot. So what are your thoughts on that?
Chief try hard mode, that is.
Yeah, if you want to do the whole Grandmaster thing, I ain't going to do it. Fuck that.
For to even reach Grandmaster, you have to have Tentacle Cap at least, usually. Plus, even if your artifact leveled up pretty darn fast, you don't even be able to do it. Because right now, I'm still 2 levels below, and that's a pretty big gap of leveling up that I'm never going to reach.
Oh, yeah, and it is insane. You have to be basically grinding left and right every single day, doing bounties and all kinds of XP gaining things.
But then again, that would be the easiest way starting next season to earn an adept weapon, seeing as trials are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong. But you have to be able to put the hard work in to earn that level of stuff, you know.
Well, I mean, it's still better drop chance than trials.
True. I mean, you're not wrong there. But, no, that's cool. Anything else you want to add to that?
Nope.
Cool. So next thing up, they have Hot's Pursuit. So similar to the Season of the Hunt, we will have a new pursuit weapon for you to earn from your quest of choice. You choose between Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit to earn the new breech-loaded grenade launcher. What is that? Salvinger's Salvo.
Yep.
And this thing actually looks nice looking. It's not bad. It's kind of got that, like, I guess, pre-war, like pre-Golden Age, I guess, look to it. It's got, like, this old-timey rustic look to it, I guess. I don't know how to put it.
Kind of like Chaperone.
Kind of. Like, it's got that wooden handle, wooden stock. I mean, it looks nice. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I hope that they give it some pretty decent perks. But
I just wish it was a wave frame, honestly.
Well, they didn't say what it is. Nobody knows. It just says, after the picture, it says, after you have attained the new tool of destruction, you'll be able to earn 3 different ornaments from its additional quest picked up from Zavala, Shaxx, and the Drifter. That's it.
Same as last time.
Yep. So I think it's kind of cool. I'm glad it's something different besides a auto rifle or a hand cannon or something like that, you know. So that's cool. Next topic, we have trials. So you've already may have seen some of the teases of our new weapon, of our new rewards for Trials of Osiris coming this season of The Chosen. We also have 3 new Trials weapons. We now have a pulse rifle, a hand cannon, and the strangest one of all, because everybody's been criticizing it. I've been seeing this all over Twitter. But people are complaining about 3-peaking in Trials. So guess what they decided to bring in? A sword. There's a new sword for Trials.
Yeah.
And it looks like a...
Temptation's Hook.
It looks like Temptation's Hook to a point. I don't know if it's going to have the exact same frame design, but it looks like it will be.
It would make sense with that design, though.
Yeah. They do have another screenshot of the armor with a full, like, actual, like, view of it, and it looks really nice. Like, really fucking nice.
I want that armor more than anything else. I will suffer through trials for that armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
It looks like our guesses are pretty dang spot on, too, especially with Warlock looking like a Scion. But that, I have to say, is probably the closest to Cabal themed out of the 3.
Yep.
mean, Titans, I'd say you look more like a Predator than anything.
Now that I can see more of the armor, yeah, it definitely looks more like Predator.
And then with Hunters, I'd have to say 100% Red Hood from the Batman, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not bad, yeah. It does look pretty close to that. So,
Which
I'm
is
loving the
why I
armor.
need it.
I'm loving the armor. Loving it. But they did say each weapon will also have an adept version with special mods. You can read, on their TWAB there that they talked about, as well as a special shader that can be applied to any adept weapon. Each one of these, from even the ones from the Grandmaster Nightfall. For the week of trials, armor and adept mods will be in the flawless chest. The second week is when you'll have your first chance of the season to grab an adept weapon. Along with these new weapons and armor, Trials has some new cosmetic rewards to show off as well. The Ghost Shell drop chances increase as you win. Matches increase when you hit the 3 to 5, 7 and win. And Flawless milestone each week. The Ship and Sparrow drop chances increase every time you go Flawless. Here's a look at the rewards. I mean, I don't know. They're kind of meh.
I like that Ghost Shell. Come on.
Nah, the shell's not great. I mean, it's... I don't know. What does it look like? I mean, it doesn't look like anything to me.
I'd have to say it looks more like they took a piece out of Warframe, honestly. In terms
Maybe.
of the Iatin treasures, stuff like that.
Okay.
Because it looks dead on for like one of the Iatin treasures.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, makes it look beautiful.
I don't know. I mean, it's just not I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't look like Trials of Osiris to me.
Well, that's what the whole thing is, that this armor, for once, it's being changed, and it looks unique now instead of being completely based on Osiris.
True. The Sparrow's not my favorite. I have
Too
better Sparrows.
beefy. But
The
the ship, though,
it's not bad. It's actually not that bad. It's actually kind of a unique design. I've never seen a ship like that in Destiny yet.
it looks like what was it? I have the Sparrow, but like the one with the infinite.
The ring underneath it, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know the one you're talking about. I have one
Well,
like
actually,
it.
there would be two, because I have both of them. Yeah, the one with the one big loop on the back, which is a Bray one, and then there's the racer one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So they say that, and then after that they do say, but wait, there's more. Season of the Chosen has several new additions to your arsenal, ready for the taking. And they've got a picture showing off a brand new sidearm, a new sniper rifle, a new rocket launcher, a new fusion rifle, a new bow, and a new SMG. Now they have like a reskin look to them. They almost look like they almost look like they were from Leviathan, but at the same time they don't. That makes sense?
Well, they look pretty dope. Let's be fair.
They do. I mean, I'm looking forward to that sidearm. I love sidearms that look like regular pistols.
Well,
Like
I mean,
I
it's
missed
with
that
the
from
gold,
Destiny
and then
1.
the like the spiral blue on top of the gold.
I know
It's
it looks
just
nice. It does look nice.
it looks like they actually put thought into the weapons for once.
Agreed. I don't know. I like the sidearm look. I like the SMG. I love the. I want to know. I don't know where they got that SMG clip. Do you notice that SMG that was in the trailer?
No, I didn't.
Let's see if I can find that trailer, that clip. I mean, and send it to you real quick. But it was. Let me see if I can pull up the trailer here and just mute it real quick. I'm trying to see if I can't find that trailer clip where they showed off the SMG firing. Because that was insane. It was some interesting, like... I don't know if that's the SMG that was from the... Let me see if I can share this from here. Does it play? No, it doesn't play at the same time. How do you do that? How do you pick a specific time frame to play from? There we go. Start at 1. There we go. So it's about 1 minute, and I'd say start it from 1 minute and 26 seconds in, which is where I'd done it. But no, I mean, I don't know if that's the. Is that the? Does that look like the SMG from the picture we're seeing right now? I mean, now that I look at it, it kind of does, but at the same time, it doesn't. And do you think that's an exotic? Hello? You still there?
Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, what do you think that is?
I say legendary based on the fact that there's so many of them.
Yeah.
You talk about the fact that there's like almost no recoil.
No, I'm just wondering if it looks like almost like an exotic because it doesn't look like the SMG that's in the
In the what?
the picture we're looking at in the TWAB. It does look like it,
No,
but at the same time
that
it
is
doesn't.
it.
Oh,
It is.
Okay, it doesn't look like it though. That's the thing. It throws me off because the curve, the loops on the front don't look the same.
No, as soon as he goes to reload it, it pulls you the side view.
Okay, well that's kind of cool looking. I love the Trials of Osiris hand cannon. It looks kind of nice with the eye on the side. It's kind of cool. But no, that's cool. So, sorry for those who are listening. We had to look that up and make sure and confirm because I was just wondering. But they look pretty cool. I mean, some of the weapons are in there. You got the rocket launcher, and they showed off this SMG. Obviously, I'm just kind of mad that they didn't show off some of the other weapons. But I mean, hey, I'll take what I can get.
But are you sure it's a pulse rifle? Because it looks more like a linear fusion rifle almost.
Which one?
The one underneath the rocket, before the bow.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said it was a fusion rifle. I didn't say pulse rifle.
I say it looks more it looks more like a linear.
I don't think it's a linear. I think it's more of a regular fusion. I mean, actually, no. Never mind. I take it back. Now that I'm looking at it more, it does look more like a linear because it does have the.
Yeah, it looks like Crooked Fang.
Or line in the sand. It does have that line in the sand look. It's got that curved edge and stuff like that. It doesn't have that smaller body frame. It's got a longer body frame. I don't know. We'll see. They didn't show it off.
Who will be right?
Yeah, right. Place your bets now. I'm just kidding. But no, that's pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see that. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how true this is, but someone on YouTube posted that said that they were announcing that Bungie is putting in 25 more weapons in the game. How true that is, I don't know. But I mean,
that seems pretty ambitious for them.
It does, especially in a season. That's a lot of weapons to put in one season. You know, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they did. Who knows? I have no idea. I
mean, with how many weapons they're sunsetting, then I guess that might make sense.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. Who knows? I don't know. It's not my job to know.
Wait, it isn't?
No, it's not. Do you have anything to add to that?
Nope. Except that everything looks pretty damn beautiful for the next season.
Mm-hmm. Armor, weapons, it all looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. All right, the next thing, I'm kind of curious to talk about this one. This is kind of fun. But it's Cult of Aeon is what they call it.
Boy.
So the team has come up with some cool plans to shake up the Aeon suite of exotics. Here it is, straight from Destiny dev team on what you can expect when you equip these arms. So the Destiny dev team goes on and says, in redesigning the Aeon Cult exotic armor pieces, we wanted to lean hard into the idea that these are the exotics you and your fire team wear when you really want to work together as a team. With that in mind, we had 3 main goals for the revamped mechanics. Create role-based mechanics that reward you for doing things that your role is supposed to be good at. Create mechanics that reward other players on your fire team when you fulfill your role, and give your fire team incentive for each player to take on a different role. So, this is how they go on to say. Instead of having a single monolithic exotic perk to handle this, we opted to take a page out of the Armor 2.0 book and give the Aeon Cult exotics their own unique mod socket and mods, which are all unlocked as soon as you acquire the exotic, and each of which is tied to one of the different Aeon Cult roles. These mods are identical across the exotics for all 3 classes, so you can choose any role regardless of what class or subclass you are playing. The 3 Aeon Cult mods and their associated mechanics are as follows. Now let me quickly pull up a real quick picture of it, because the one in the TWAB is not very easy to read. Okay, it goes on to state. So you have 3 new mods. They're called, one of them is called Sect of Force, Sect of Insight, and Sect of Vigor. Sorry, not Vigor. Vigor. Wow. There's a D somewhere in there, I guess.
You use Victor.
Anyways, how it goes.
Victor, it's Vector.
Anyways, how it goes. So the Sect of Force, so this is what it reads. You specialize in punishing powerful combatants before they can harm your allies. So, for you, rapid precision hits with a weapon temporarily increases your reload speed and your weapon swap speed. Now, your fire team will receive this buff. When you stun a champion or defeat a boss/mini-boss, your nearby fire team members gain a burst of grenade and melee energy. Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Force role equipped also gain a burst of super energy. So that's pretty cool. It's a cool concept.
Probably rocking that more than any of the other ones, honestly.
Right. Well, I mean, some of the other ones are pretty cool too. I mean, Sect of Insight, here's this one. You specialize in empowering your allies and keeping them all well supplied. So successive precision weapon takedowns have a chance to drop an orb of power for your allies. And then this one right here is when you use a finisher on an elite, you generate special ammo for your fire team. When you use a finisher on a boss or a mini-boss, you generate heavy ammo for your fire team. Nearby Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Insight role equipped also gain a bonus to weapon damage for a short time. Kind of cool.
I mean, we already have enough stuff that drop orbs, let's be fair.
True. But, I mean, the finisher part of it is kind of nice.
Yes, 100%.
I think it's kind of cool because that means you can actually not have to equip special finisher on.
Yeah, I can see you using that since you use all those mods a lot.
I use double shotgun in Deep Stone Crypt. What do you expect? It's one way to run Deep Stone Crypt.
But I'm wondering what ammo, does that mean that you're missing out on ammo when that drops, though?
I don't know. I don't know if that actually does what that does. Well, I mean, it's one of those things we have to try.
I get a set of 3.
Right. Sect of Vigor. You specialize in keeping your allies in the fight. So, gain class ability energy as your allies die. Gain full class ability energy when you resurrect an ally. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of nice. It kind of sucks that you gain class ability when your allies die.
And it's not really needed for my build either. So.
No, not for you. But I mean, for a Titan or a Warlock with the rifts and the barriers and things like that, that's kind of nice. And then so the other part of that mod goes when you cast your super, nearby allies gain an instant burst of healing. Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Vigor role equipped also gain an overshield. So every time you put out your super, you automatically give them an overshield. That's kind of cool. Unique too.
I could see bubble Titans and then Warlocks using that more than anything else.
Yeah.
Hunters are most likely not going to be rolling that one. Let's be fair.
No, I mean and Bubble Titans actually be really cool to see with that. I'm kind of curious to know. I might try that actually when the Aeon Colts come out and such. When the Aeon Colt stuff comes out. But what are your thoughts on these?
Like I said, I'll probably rock and Force more than anything. Makes more sense.
Right.
For at least for Hunter.
Insight isn't terrible for you. It's not terrible.
Insight anyway can run that one honestly, but Vigor again, strictly a non-hunter.
You could do it with a hunter though. You could do it with a hunter if you use.
If you were a slow hunter. If you're a slow hunter.
Slow, yes. More of like if you have your build more on a intellect or discipline
defense
or resilience, something like that. Not a mobility hunter. But yeah,
I'm already at max mobility, so it's not necessary for me.
Right. I'm just kind of curious. I would love to try these out. I hope that they take this and maybe make more mods. It'd be cool to see more of these come out.
I want like Aeon weapons on top of that too.
Ooh, Aeon Cult weapons that actually work together with our armor.
Yeah.
See, that's
kind of like Sturm and Drang.
Well, there's that, but I mean, I'm talking more like I'm thinking more like the new Warlock exotic, the Necrotic Grip, and Thorn. They work way too well together. Thorn sets off your Necrotic Grip perk. You didn't know that, did you?
I don't play as a Warlock, so...
Yeah, no, you can use Thorn and the Necrotic Grip. And the Necrotic Grip, how it works is it does that area of effect thing whenever the poison thing. If you get a kill with Thorn, it'll still proc the poison damage from the gloves. And Bungie came out and stated that was intentional. So it's some kind of weird synergy between Thorn and that. And I would love to see some weapons that would do the same thing. So, I mean, imagine if they added an Aeon weapon that synergized with the specific perk you picked.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if it would work exactly how it would work, but I mean, I don't know how exactly they would actually do that. But I mean,
yeah.
could you imagine if it did something like that? Kind of cool. Kind of interesting. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I know Kai is very against these. He says he has no hope for these.
There's no hope for him.
I know. I feel for him. He's never liked the Aeons. I mean, do you know how hard it was for me to find a 6-man team to do Menagerie with Aeons?
Like even when they first came out, like running around again and just seeing your armor activate, all the spikes just pop out, and you're like, oh, somebody else is around running this, and it's like, whenever you did come across somebody like on a strike or something, it actually seemed to work out. But again, you yourself aware never gained a buff until now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, there's that, and then also, what was it? I mean, let me say this. I did a 6-man Menagerie using nothing but Aeon Web armor as our exotic. Was it necessary? No. We really had no point in using it. Did I throw a lot of grenades? Yes, I did. I was a warlock at the time. I threw a lot of grenades. But was it necessary? No. I had no need to run Aeons. I just wanted to do it because why not? You know? But no, I mean, I would love to see this be a really good thing that would maybe eventually become bigger and better, and maybe more exotic armor coming out that has this kind of same concept idea. To where it requires, it's like a team thing. You want your team to play together and use almost the same armor piece to play together. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they would make more like this, but I'm saying if they did. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, I guess. You got anything else to add on this? There, Darth?
No.
No, okay. I'm like, where the hell did he go? But, cool. All right, well, they did say that each of these mods has one perk that focuses on the user and one perk that grants benefits to their allies. Additionally, the second perk includes an extra benefit for anyone in your fire team that's not chosen the same role. So maximum efficiency, each member of the three-player fire team should choose a different mod to reap the most benefits. So make that known. Okay, now, here we go. The Catalyst comeback. I'm loving this. It says, in a previous TWAB discussing the Destiny content vault, we mentioned that some of the content being vaulted would affect several exotic weapon catalysts, and we would temporarily removing them while we worked on update the drop and update sources. Catalysts for the following weapons have had their drop sources and objectives updated to be not associated with vaulted content. These weapons are as follows. Bad Juju, Izanagi's Burden, Sleeper Stimulant, the Huckleberry, Worldline Zero, Polaris Lance, Telesto, Legend of Acreus, and Skyburner's Oath. Now, they do state the catalyst for Whisper of the Worm and Outbreak Perfected are still unattainable for anyone who hasn't already earned them and will be added in a future update. Okay, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, considering that half of those are catalysts I don't have, I'm stoked, but I'm interested in how we're going to obtain them this time.
Well, okay, I could see Skyburner's Oath and Legend of Acreus being tied inside the seasonal activity because they're both Cabal themed.
Skyburner's catalyst, because
What's
that
that?
used to be like Skyburners used to be my PvP weapon because it was OP at the time,
Well, I love.
and
I still use it.
slowly faded out.
I still use Skyburners and Crucible sometimes just because it's fun.
And then, aside from Bad Juju, Telesto, and then Huckleberry, which I don't even use Huckleberry. Huckleberry is unreliable.
Oh, no, it's not, dude. Huckleberry's Catalyst is great, dude. Do you know what it
Again, I don't
does?
have
Let me pull it up real quick so I can tell you what it
it
does.
to give you like actual stability.
No, you don't need stability when you have Huckleberry's Catalyst, dude. You don't, trust me.
I mean, Sleeper Stimulant Catalyst coming back again, finally.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that when I have the weapon. I just haven't got the Catalyst yet. Where's Huckleberry at? Right there. But the Catalyst. Ah, crap. I can't see it because I'm not in game. Damn it. Let's see if I can't Google it real quick. But,
App are you,
what?
what app are you using?
Little light.
If you had the Destiny 2 app, you could see it.
Oh, you can? What?
Yeah.
You have to have the weapon. You have to have the weapon equipped, don't you?
Mm-mm. At least I don't think so.
Let's see. I'll search it. Nope, they do not have it. I literally just typed in Huckleberry, and all it does is show up a bunch of crap. All right, let's try a little light.gg. There it is. All right. Seriously? All right. I literally have to go in game to find out what it does.
Or you just look it up on Google. Google Huckleberry Catalyst.
Though you did?
No, I'm just
No.
saying you can do that.
Sorry. For anyone who's listening to the podcast, you can tell we're very professional, right? We planned all this out and everything like that. Okay, so the Huckleberry Catalyst, when unlocked, will refund ammo on eliminations. The weapon will also generate ammo on multi-kills. So if there are enough enemies in your screen, then you'd be able to fire constantly without reloading. Though the Catalyst is more PvE focused, Huckleberry works like a charm in Crucible as well. Like straight up. It basically does not run out of ammo.
As long as you have the Catalyst, though, so otherwise it's useless.
Yeah, yes and no. But yeah. So.
I don't know, I just never was a fan of Huckleberry.
I liked it. I got the Catalyst done.
Yeah. Overachiever.
Hey. You have your own thing you do. I don't get after you for it. Do I?
Yes.
What have I gotten after you for?
I can't remember, but I know you have.
Wow, I can't remember, but I know you have. just wow. That's all I gotta say. It's just wow. Wow. Okay, all right. Let's see how it goes.
I just want Skyburner's Oath. Damn it.
Same. Next up, we've got Prime Gaming. So you've got Graviton Lance, the Carina Nebula exotic weapon ornament, the Cosmos Shell exotic ghost shell, and the Avalon Corsair legendary sparrow. So go get those before they go away. So anything to add on that?
No, not really. Not for a Prime.
No. Cool. All right.
Except get it.
Right. Next we have the All Good Things, I guess is what they call it. But they're talking about the update. They said seasonal titles and Bungie rewards. Season of the Hunt ends on February 9th. View our update 3.1.0 timeline below for what time it will end. And Season of the Chosen begins. Before the season ends, player who earned the Flawless and Conqueror title should claim and equip them to ensure they do not get removed. Multiple items for Bungie rewards will also be earned in-game before February 9th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and claimed on Bungie rewards site by February 12th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those items would be the Free Stranger Papercraft figure, Stasis t-shirt, the Warden Seal pin. Players should equip the title to ensure that it's earned, and the Hawkmoon mini replica.
I grab that right now.
So, there's that. Now, item and quest removal. As we announced earlier this week, before Season of the Hunt ends on February 9th, it's recommended to turn in the following items and quests, whether they're removed from a player's inventories or will no longer be available to be used. Weekly bounties from Strikes, Crucible, Gambit, Gunsmith, and Crow. Crucible tokens and Crucible to get token gifts. Memory fragments for Stasis. All Crow bounties. Planetary materials, Alkaline Dust, Phase Glass, Needles, Seraphite, and Simulation Seeds. You will be able to turn these into Spider for Glimmer if you want to. Okay? So be careful of those. Anything to add on that?
Grab your replicas, grab your t-shirts, and your pin.
Yep. Next up, we have Save Your Halo data. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks. But on February 9th, the halo.bungie.net website will be taken offline permanently. So if you have any data there, take care of it now. Get it now.
Do it now.
So you want to make sure you get all that stuff. See if I can't find my stats real quick and see if they even exist. That is the question. So yeah, make sure you do that. Then you've got right here. Okay, so next up we have SDR console update. So Steam Datagram Relay is coming to consoles during Season of the Chosen, but we need to do more testing and fixes before it's ready to go live. SDR is used to mitigate against DDoS attacks. You can learn more about a previous TWAB. So, good to know.
Like DDoS.
Yep.
Good old phishing.
See if I can't find my stats. If my stats even exist. Next up, we have the update 3.1.0 maintenance timeline. So, next Tuesday, February 9th at 8 a.m., the maintenance begins. At 8:45, players are removed from activities and Destiny 2 will be brought offline. At 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, they will be available on all platforms and regions. Be able to log into the game. At 10 a.m., the maintenance should be completed. Below are some issues that will be resolved with update 3.1.0. A complete list will be shared when the update goes live. The Crucible Valor and Gambit Infamy New Light quests can now be completed after resetting ranks. Armed Carbones will now spawn in the Agnarok, Abyss, and Sumerian Garrison Ascendant challenges. Triumph's Lore of Luna, Wisdom of the Witch, Run the Gauntlet in Crimson Garrison. The Altar of Sorrows bosses will now rotate each day. The Warsat public event in the Cosmodrome's Moth Yards will now count towards bounties. The lift tube in the Warden of Nothing Strike will now open for every player. The boss from the Insight Terminus Strike will now always teleport away after scanning the Vex terminal. Lake of Shadows will no longer become blocked if players bypass trigger volumes. Stern will once again reload any equipped energy slot weapon on kills. Merciless will once again increase the rate of charge rate on non-lethal hits. Thunderlord, Reckless Oracle, and other weapons will once again render their scope and or reticle. So, good to know. Any thoughts on that?
I stopped using Merciless and Thunderlord long ago.
Yeah, right? I haven't tried Merciless in a while. I'm kind of curious to know how it works.
I say I'm going to probably wait for that bug to be fixed.
Probably. Be the best place to do it. But, yeah, that's cool. Good to know. Next up, they have known issues. We continue to investigate PC, FPS, and stuttering issues. The Lightseeker Triumph is not unlocking after players have found all weekly feathers for the Bird of Prey quest, and feathers no longer appear when completing the Bird of Prey quest. The Black Light Orbs left behind by the High Celebrate won't open portals if shot by sidearms, and sometimes will open when in a fire team. We're continuing.
Well, by sometimes, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't done it with a sidearm yet. And we're continuing to investigate various areas codes, including Argula and Prune. So. What?
Nothing, just the error name Prune. I mean, really? That's what you guys came up with?
Yeah, right. I do not have any Halos. I don't have any Halo stats. We're good. Cool.
I was going to say by won't open when in a fire team is always won't open when in a fire team. High Celebrant has always been a single player mission.
Yeah,
because they won't fix it.
Well, they are. It's a no.
Well, that's what it keeps saying, but it hasn't been fixed ever since it came out.
True. Don't ask me. Anyways, that's it. And it says here at the end, and I'll talk about some speculation that's coming out with this, but it says here we are, the last TWAB of the season. It's always it's always an exciting time. I love how you write and exciting time when new Destiny content is only a few sleeps away. With new story content, a new strike, 2 new strikes from the DCV, a new matchmade activity, redacted, and so much more. This is jam-packed. We will see you on the battlegrounds. Now, with that, Cosmo, he says redacted and so much more. Now,
what is redacted?
There's been speculation. I can't say the word. Wow. Speculation. Thank you. That the redacted thing is a dungeon. Now I want to say that's been put to rest because I know if they were going to do that, you would think that they would put that in a trailer because that's a big marketing tool to have a dungeon release. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great way to market something like this. So I don't think
Unless
that's going to
it's
happen.
like Return of a Hunter Vanguard, perhaps.
That could be that too. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But that was all the TWAB. Before I close it up, do you have anything you want to add to it?
Just his wrap up of I choose you.
I know, I thought that was funny. If you look at it, there's actually a link in it, and it's actually just a Simpsons picture. It's beautiful. So no, it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to the next season. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well then, I guess we'll move on to our next segment. We'll see you right after this. All right, and we're back. So now it's time to get into our other gaming news. This week, this first one I want to kind of pop up because it was kind of interesting, but it was I brought up the whole article because I wasn't sure exactly what happened. I wanted to just cover the highlights, but apparently, according to The Verge, the Mass Effect's Pinnacle Station DLC is forever lost due to data corruption. So it says the Pinnacle Station, a training facility added to the first Mass Effect, won't appear in Mass Effect Legendary Edition alongside over 40 other pieces of downloadable content. Game Informer reports that the Pinnacle Station, created by Demerge Studios for the first game, can't be salvaged due to data corruption. Legendary Edition repackages the original trilogy and all of its previously released content with new features and major graphical overhaul. Speaking to Game Informer, game director Mac Walter said that trying to save the DLC was an emotional roller coaster. That included reaching out to Demerge and trying to obtain backup source code from the developer, and the source code was, wow, I can't read. Source code from the developer was corrupted. The original source code had been notoriously lost, which kept PlayStation 3 players from experiencing it when the game arrived on the platform. Recreating the DLC would have taken 6 months and most of the Legendary Edition's teams, Walter said. I wish we could do it, honestly, just because this is meant to be everything that the team ever created brought together again, all the single-player content, and so leaving it out on the cutting room floor, it was heartbreaking. And they do state that Mass Effect Legendary Edition will launch on May 14th on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So that's kind of sad that we're going to miss out on quite a few DLC pieces due to that, but it happens, I guess. Data corruption's a bitch.
Like I said, I know I'm probably going to get flack from some people, but I haven't touched Mass Effect, and I mean, if I were to buy it now and go through it, I wouldn't be missing anything, honestly. Because I wouldn't know what I was missing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you played the 360 version, you probably would see it. But if you don't have the 360 version, you wouldn't see it.
And honestly, again, I'm more excited for Biomutant in May. So,
right. Sorry if you heard me open my Mountain Dew in the background. That was not on purpose.
How dare you, sir?
Right. But yeah, no. I mean, it's one of those things that.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. I mean, especially for those who played it when it first came out and they experienced the DLC, it's gonna suck. I didn't get to experience the DLC, so I won't be missing anything. I didn't really play them. Like, I plan to maybe do a gameplay playthrough of Mass Effect on a stream. So I'm thinking about pre-ordering the Legendary Edition, playing it from the Legendary Edition, and then maybe one day going back and playing it on the 360 version.
Yeah, just let it be a lesson to you wannabe developers. Always make backups of your backups.
Exactly. Back up your backup of your backup of your backup. Everybody get that?
Or just have a separate server on its own.
Yeah, exactly. But the next thing we got is a canceled Xbox 360 remake of GoldenEye is now playable on PC. So that was interesting to hear.
I mean, I'd like to see an updated version of Agent Under Fire, honestly.
I'd never played any of the James Bond games except for like one on PC that had a multiplayer.
It wasn't based on any of the movies or anything. It was its own thing. It was all revolved around cloning and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay. It's not bad. But cool. The next one is Sony is selling the PS5 at a loss. Investors told strategic price point on new console is lower than manufacturing costs. So,
Grab your PS5s while you can.
I guess. I mean, if they're not making money off it, then why are they selling it? You know? So, I don't know. Who knows? Next one we got is Microsoft issues fresh call to take Xbox Drift lawsuit out of court. Company insists plaintiffs accepted at arbitration by signing into Xbox Live and using controllers. Damn.
Make up shenanigans on that one.
Now, if what I remember, the picture showed a Elite 2 controller. I have not had any drift issues with mine.
Drifting already?
I guess. I haven't had any issues.
Started drifting after like 3 years.
This is the Elite 2. This is the brand new one.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm going. It's the Elite one holding up original. The first Elite holding up better than the second one.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm loving my Elite 2. I don't regret it. So who knows?
I'll wait for the price to drop before I get it too. Honestly.
Right. Next up is Black Ops Cold War Zombies is adding Firebase Z-Map and more in an update. I did hear that the latest Zombies map, I don't know which game it was, either Modern Warfare or the Cold War, but there's some visual glitches. I guess what is it? Smoke doesn't look right in the when you zoom in on it with a scope. It's kind of a weird visual bug. It's kind of weird. I don't know. If you want to know more about that, ask Risky as Coot. He did experience it, and he told me about it. I just can't remember what exactly he said.
I didn't even know it was out. I thought that was coming out.
Well, I mean, I think the article was posted just a little bit before. Our news guy, TDO, who helps us get our news, posted it. Let me see if I can find the article real quick and see when it was posted. The article was written on 2 days ago. I don't know when the newest thing came out. So, yep. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, do you have anything to add on any of those news stories?
Might be interesting. GoldenEye.
Right. I'll have to find that article for you and send it to you. Let me see.
I wish I could find it.
Let me see if I can find the article. It's still in my newsroom. There it is here. It's from PC Gamer, and it was published 2 days ago. It is GoldenEye 007 XBLA 2007 long play. And it states, back in 2008, plans to release an HD remaster of Rare's GoldenEye on Xbox Live Arcade was scuppered by rights conflicts, but now, over 12 years after its intended release... What?
Yeah. I remember actually playing that now on... what system was it?
N64.
Yeah, I remember playing that during actually a youth group thing.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Back when games were actually difficult and actually required you to explore the whole entire game.
Right. But, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, they just... It doesn't even really tell much. I mean, the fucking article is insane because it's got a bunch of ads on it, so it's really hard to read. But, no, yeah, it was interesting to hear. So, who knows? We'll see. So... All right. If you don't have anything else to add to that, I think we'll move on to the next topic.
Let's move on.
We'll be moving on to our questions for the show. Now, this week, the questions are a little different. We're doing... one of our members, TDO, sent us 6 voice questions to our Anchor.fm voice message link, which is posted in our show notes as well as our Discord. I do mention that every week. That way people can voice stuff. Send us questions, even just opinions. Ask us or give us suggestions for show topics. So, we'll see how this goes. This will be our first week of having questions through our voice thing, so we'll see how this works this week. So, first off, we'll go with his first question here.
This question is for both of y'all. What do you guys think of the Guardian games coming back during the season of The Chosen?
All right, I'm back from that. I mean, why do you have to ask that question, TD? Man, you know I hate Guardian games. I do
We already,
not. What's that?
I feel like we already answered early on when we said it was bullshit.
Basically, we did state we did talk about it, but I mean, I'm still gonna go ahead and tell him. No, I do not want Guardian games back unless they change the entire system. Okay, I do not want to be a fucking bounty fest the entire fucking time. Okay.
Make it an equal opportunity to win this time instead of like gearing it towards the frickin' Titans.
Maybe make a special PvP game mode or a PvE game mode. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, make it to where you play a specific game mode, like example being a strike, and you go in and play the strike, but you only play with your class on your fire team during the weeks of Guardian games. Sounds stupid, but I mean, come on. Why not? Why not? I mean, what do you think of that?
I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, if you're doing PvP, I feel like hunters would just slaughter shards for days.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But all right, we'll go ahead and listen to his second question here.
What do you guys think about the two original strikes from D1 coming back during the season of The Chosen? I want to get the input from both of y'all, or three of you guys, if it's Kai in there too.
Ooh, this is a pretty good question. What do you think? Pretty good question, huh?
Like I said before, I'm loving it. Two classics. I mean, I mean, the whole Shank one wasn't really my favorite, but it was a challenge, so that's what made it actually kind of fun in the end.
Right, exactly. It was pretty
But the
fun.
servitor one, oh, that's so classic. That's old school.
Right, you gotta hide behind the shipping containers like a bitch.
Well, I mean, nowadays I feel like it shouldn't be that much of a challenge unless they leveled it, which I hope they did.
Same, I do hope. But I mean, it'd be fun.
As long as we get our old school gear drops back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see, won't we? I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. So, all right. I think it's on to his third question, I guess.
Yep.
During this new season of Destiny 2, what would you guys do? Grind till your hands fall off, or just quit after the first 5 minutes?
Not a bad question, honestly. That's pretty good.
What about the third option?
What third option?
Just take it nice and slow and do it at your own pace. You actually enjoy the content, and then start the grind.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I agree with you there. I mean, what was it? I grinded out all of Beyond Light's content. I'm kind of bored of it now. Like, I don't want to do Empire Hunts. I don't want to do any of that kind of stuff. But
I mean, with that, I waited to start grinding until after I was done with all the story content, all that other side quest stuff, and then slowly started grinding until I picked up the pace.
Okay. Well, I should have done that. But I mean, it still wasn't terrible. So I don't know. I mean, do you have anything else you want to add to it? No?
That was it.
Nothing? All right, cool. I guess we'll move on to his fourth question here.
I want to know, when you guys saw the trailer of Season of The Chosen, did you think that Zavala was going to bow down to Callus's daughter or not? Because to me, when I saw Osiris look straight at him, it almost looked like a bit of a hesitation from Zavala that he was willing to bow down like the bitch he is.
Damn, TD, you really don't like Zavala, man. Fuck.
Who does?
Nobody does.
He hides in the tower. He doesn't protect the tower. He hides in the tower.
Right.
Surrounding himself with. That's the only reason why when Guardian's around is Guardians to save his ass when he gets himself in the shit.
Yeah. Not wrong.
I
thought it was funny. I mean, go ahead and give your opinion on the trailer and that scene. Spoilers ahead, by the way, guys.
Knowing Zavali's like, huh, who is this? I'm the Guardian King. We don't need you, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically, I'd say, more of a, who does this bitch think she is kind of look, honestly.
See, I disagree. I honestly, the way he looked, he did not have that like.
But yes.
He had that look.
But I'm saying, like, for Zavala, that's probably as close as you're going to get to that kind of look from him.
True.
Like, man does not know emotions.
That is true. He does not have emotions. But no, I mean, he just had that weird look of like, yeah, he was. I almost felt like he was going to. I was like, oh shit, holy shit. I honestly was hoping it was. I kind of don't hate me, but I kind of hope he would.
Now, if Ikora's there, what do you think would happen?
She would have kicked his ass if he would have done that. You know she would have. We all know. We know Zavala's a pushover. We know Ikora could take his ass.
He just goes with a straight up no instead of going, hear about a counter offer.
I know, right? I'm like, what the hell? Why didn't you just make a counter offer? You could have come up with a better solution. Like, come on.
Like, we'll leave you like a handful of guardians to protect whatever you need.
Yeah, exactly. But whatever. Hey, whatever. If it makes story content, I don't fucking care. You know?
I mean, it would have been nice to have another faction on our side, though. Like,
yeah.
Building up towards Lightfall, we like are slowly collecting these other groups. Like, the next group to fall in would be all of the Fallen. I mean, we have bits and pieces, but I mean, like, okay, we have the Cabal now. Then the next season or expansion or whatever, you add the Fallen to your ranks.
You're not wrong. Not wrong at all. I mean, I get you completely. I'm not going to deny it. I completely get it.
Hive and Vex, of course, enemies forever.
Yeah, of course, because you can't have those. You can't have those things. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just getting set up for the next question because I remember I listened to the next question. I listened to a lot of these questions ahead of time, and I'm trying to get set up so I can back up I can prove my shit.
Oh boy, how bad is this gonna be?
Oh, not that bad. It's not that bad. So we'll go ahead and listen to that next one. What is this? 5th question, I think now. So cool.
Yeah, 5th.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Truth, I'm looking straight at the Warlock Stasis subclass. I don't know where does it say Shadebringer. I'm trying to look at it. I see Shadebinder, but not Shadebringer. So, where do you get Shadebringer from?
You know what? I am completely wrong. I am wrong. I just looked it up again. I went and I actually while we were again, as I was setting this up, I was looking. I pulled up the Bungie TWAB, the reveal for the Warlock, and yeah, I did reading it wrong. You
want to explain where this came from?
One of our previous podcast episodes when we talked about actually the spotlight for Stasis. Can't remember which one it was. Was it? I believe it was either Foster. So Foster Lemur, or it was another one. I can't remember what it was, but I did mention on the podcast. I did say Shadebringer, but it's actually Shadebinder. That was a total mispronunciation on my half. Whoops.
Mispronunciation. That's the wrong word, dude.
No, I just added an extra R to it.
Sure. We'll go with that. But
hey. I'll at least admit I'm wrong. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know. I was like shit. As soon as I looked at it, I was like crap. I am wrong. So. Yep. All right. You ready for his final and last question here?
Let's do it.
All right.
What is your time now on D2? Truth, you read yours when you did a recording podcast with Big Panda. You should check what is yours now. Mine is 3,143 hours. Active 2,182 hours. PvE 1,745 hours. Crucible 266 hours. Gambit 170 hours. Patrol 786 hours. Strikes 476 hours. Raids 110 hours. Trials 3 hours. What do you guys is?
All right, this is a pretty fun one, actually. I'll let you go ahead and start with your time.
Oh, geez. Yeah, my minuscule time compared to everybody else's. Total time, 749 hours.
It's not bad.
And somehow I've caught up to everybody.
That's not bad. Well, go ahead and just go ahead and go through it all, like all of it, all of your time, separated out by the area.
Oh, geez.
Come on.
Active, 541 hours. PvE, 427 hours. Crucible, 43 hours. Gambit, 24. Patrol, 250. Strike, 56. Raid, 62. Trials, 1.
The PV is actually 472, not 427.
That's what I meant.
Okay, you're good. I'm just making sure. Dude, I've spent way too much time. We're real with you. I've spent way too much fucking time in this game. I have a total with orbit time that is 2,132 hours. An active of 1,401 hours. My PvE hours is 1,107 hours. My crucible is 206 hours. My gambit is 87 hours. My patrol is 418 hours. My strikes is 171 hours. My raids is 256 hours. And my trials of Osiris is 11 hours. I have wasted too much time in this game. So, now I'm quickly going to look something else up real quick while I'm here. Kind of curious to see what this is. I just looked into to view a heat map of time spent protecting the last city. There's a heat map, I guess you can find. So 2017, I had 0 hours. 2018, I started up in, let's see, so June. I started up in June 21st with 6 hours of play. And then 1 hour from there, every so often. I had 12 hours one day. And then from there, it kind of picked up. June 8th, I only had 1 day. And then it just got bigger and bigger as it went on. Damn. Wow. Spent that many time. Wow. All right, that heat map thing is ridiculous. Holy crap. All right, don't look at that. That was a bad idea.
I feel depressed now.
That just shows off how many hours I've wasted in my life. Oh, that's funny. But no, that's cool.
Say I put about as much time in the Warframe as you have in the Destiny.
Wow. But cool, man. Appreciate the questions, man. That was pretty fun.
For everybody else but me.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was interesting to see.
About the last question.
I'm looking forward to more. I would love to hear and have more people ask us questions. It's kind of fun to
Emphasis on more people.
Yes, please, more. And they can be random questions like, what color is the sky? Seriously.
Please no.
Seriously. I'm talking about like anything. It literally can be anything. And I think I've read
All I
one
see
guy.
is fire and blood.
Let me read, not stealing their questions, but they did have some really cool questions in their shows. But they do, like, favorite armor set and or ornament, and then you've got, like, they've got guest-specific ones that someone asked. It's like, they questioned one person, they're like, I feel like you were due for some brews and food. You free on the 20th, I'm thinking pulled pork. And they obviously know each other, so that's why they're saying it. But, I mean, they've got, like, questions specifically for the guest and all kinds of stuff. So I'd love to see that kind of stuff. Come on. Be kind of fun. So. But, cool. I think that's it for the questions, unless you got anything to add. Anything at all? No?
No, oh, sorry.
No, you're good. All right, I guess we're going to move on to our music for the playlist. So, Darth, what were your picks for the playlist right here?
I ended up going with 3 because I couldn't make up my mind. So, First one I say Cry Out for a Hero by Beast in Black. 2 with Warriors of Time by Black Tide, and 3 Overkill by Riot.
Okay. Were there any specific reasons why you picked those songs, or?
Cry Out for a Hero is a good metal, Warrior of Time, good blend of metal and rock, and an Overkill metal step.
Okay. Cool.
Also, they're constantly on my playlist at work.
Nice. Well, I'll go ahead and read Kai off. I guess since he's not going to be here, I'll still go ahead and read him off because I'll add him to the playlist because he was going to be here, but again, work called, and so he wasn't able to make it. But Kai chose House of Gold by 21 Pilots and Angel by Theory of a Dead Man. He did not say why he chose those. Obviously, he was going to tell a story of why he was going to choose those, but I'll let him talk about those next week. Those will probably be also included on next week's podcast as his picks. He'll be able to talk about them from last week's show. But I chose 2 songs, and they're kind of they're older songs. They're good classics. Older songs, man. They're classic older songs, man. But the first one is "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi. That's just a good song. It's got a really good melody. Really good song. I mean, I enjoy the lyrics of it. And then Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas. Now, you don't hear this one very often, but it plays in some movies and a few other things. You don't hear it. You recognize it as soon as you hear it. But it's a really good song. Really good. Really good words. I think this is like a 5-minute song, but it's really good. Really good. So, cool. You got anything else to add before we close out the show?
Music-wise, I think we've done enough music as it is, to be fair.
All right, well, I guess we'll just move on to the last bit of stuff here. Where can our listeners find you?
I guess I can list off 3 places. So, Xbox, it'll be DU DarthPheonix. That's capital D, capital U, space, capital D, A, lowercase ARTH, capital PHEONIX. And yes, I know it's misspelled. It's misspelled for a reason. And then for Steam, it'll just be DarthPheonix spelled the same way. And if those of you in VR, Oculus, DarthPheonix, again, spelled the same way.
Discord information? Do you want to give over your Discord or no?
Not this time.
No, that's cool. All right. Do you have any other locations? Twitter, YouTube, Twitch?
I do not Twitter, and I do not stream yet.
Okay. Cool.
Not yet.
Cool, man. All right. Well, you know me. I am TFB Truth Lives just about everywhere you can think of. Xbox, YouTube still. Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Truth Lives. That's capital T, capital L, and a 1 for an I. Twitter, Truth Lives. Same thing. Capital T, capital L, 1 for an I. And then, of course, on Discord, I am Truth Lives, #4409. Feel free to reach me out there. And then you can also find me on Gilded now. I am TFB Truth Lives there as well. Same spelling, so always easy to find me. But awesome. Well, thank you for coming to the show, man. I appreciate you spending some time with us and hanging out. Or me, I guess, since Kai's not here. But no, I appreciate it. It was really fun. I had a lot of fun talking with you and sharing some like-minded ideas. But cool. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Yeah.
But as we always like to end the show, this has been Truth Lives.
And DarthPheonix.
And we will see you out in the reef. Guys, have a good night.